I think I joined the BMC when I was about 11 years old, so I could compete or try to compete for GB and enter all my regional competitions that I was so excited to do. I also think the BMC could improve EDI by making climbing more accessible for all sorts of people, for example, families with low income or people in the city who just don't have access to the outdoors or don't see it as a place for them. The BMC ensures that we can all have access to climbing crags across the country and that everyone using them is looking after them. They're clean and the rock is in good quality, so that's really important to me as an outdoor climber. And then for competitions, they ensure that I can get away and actually be insured whilst I'm competing, which not many insurance companies actually do, so that's really important to me. And lastly, they are really keen on promoting diversity within climbing, and it's so nice to work with an organisation that shares the same passions as I do and has the same ideals and visions for where climbing should be. I hope as a BMC ambassador I'm able to be a role model for those people who might not see themselves looking the same as other people within the climbing community. So hopefully I'll be able to reach a new audience for the BMC, but also speak to their climbers who've been going for a long time. I think climbing has changed already quite a lot because of the Olympics. There are loads more climbing walls across the country, and also I think the style is changing so that even the easier boulders are a lot more fun and interesting and more like comp style, so people can really have a go at what they've seen at the Olympics at their local gym.
With the deep water solo season quickly approaching and crags being busier than usual, you may be searching for a different experience out on the rock. So for your safety, we've compiled this fun film providing some key points about how to deep water solo safely.
The best time to get out in the UK in deep water solo is in August, September. This is when the water's the warmest.
Remember to check the tide times carefully before climbing. Remember that a neap spring tide is not actually that high, so check which routes need high tides.
Never go deep water sailing on your own in case you're getting difficulties in the water. Working out an escape plan is as important as working out the moves.
Before starting climbing, it's always useful to check the fall zones to see if there's any underwater hazards that could injure you. This is why it's so important to check the tide times and the water depth.
Climbing out of the water might not always be an option. Having a rope or a buoyancy aid potentially could save lives.
The Great British weather is known for its sporadic nature. One moment it could be glorious sunshine and the next it could be belting down with rain. This is why it's important to pay attention to sudden changes in weather, specifically wind speed, as it can cause dangerous waters. Just because it's the Great British summer doesn't necessarily mean the water is warm. In fact, it's still really cold and can put anyone at risk of cold water shock.
So what is cold water shock? It's an involuntary reaction your body makes when going into cold water. Your chest cavity constricts, making it really hard to breathe, sometimes resulting in hyperventilating and, in extreme cases, cardiac arrest.
Signs of cold water shock include gasping, panic, hyperventilation and restriction of blood flow. So what kind of gear should you take? Well, lots of spare clothes, shoes and chalk just in case you take a few dunks into the water, an ab rope so you can get out safely and a flotation device. Also a down jacket and beach towel wouldn't hurt in case it's cold when you get out of the water.
So now we move on to the slow motion part of the film, how to hit the water. You've got to remember to make as small a profile as possible, pointing your toes and having your arms down by your side. No one wants to slap the underside of their arms or belly flop from 20 feet.
Deep water soloing is a great way to have a fun day out with friends, but it isn't without risk, so remember to be safe and be smart. For more information, search BMC Deep Water Solo.
My name's Abby Robinson. I'm a GB paraclimber and 3-time world champion in the B2 women's category. So I joined the BMC because I'm a competition climber, so membership gives me access to all of the competitions, both able-bodied and paraclimbing competitions, as well as all of the inclusive paraclimbing events that they run. Being part of the paraclimbing team has made a massive difference to me as a person. It's really helped me cope with coming to terms with my disability. Meeting other people, I think when I first got diagnosed with my visual impairment and being referred to as disabled was something that really didn't sit well with me. I didn't feel disabled. I didn't feel like I was any less able or independent as any other person, but that word disabled kind of really hung over me. Being part of the paraclimbing team and meeting other people with disabilities that were just as independent and just as able, if not more able, than a lot of people without any kind of impairments was really comforting for me. And it really showed me that my visual impairment didn't have to be a barrier for me, and that I can be fit and healthy and strong and independent whilst also being visually impaired. The paraclimbing team in particular is really tight-knit, and it is a really, really lovely team to be a part of. You know, we're all so different in our abilities and disabilities, but also really similar in sort of the experiences we've all had, and I think that really brings us closer together. So being part of the paraclimbing team is it's a real privilege. Obviously, as paraclimbing grows as a sport, nationwide and worldwide, we're sort of creating lots of small paraclimbing communities across the country, and the BMC are supporting us in that, in putting on paraclimbing events and creating more paraclimbing competitions. So I've sort of continued my support for the BMC, and in return they're sort of helping paraclimbing grow as a sport, I guess.
Although it's warming up and not technically the season, that won't stop many of you from heading out into the Peak District to experience God's own rock, the Gritstone. We're here at the Roaches for the next feature in our Respect the Rock campaign to give you all the knowledge. So sit tight, here's the download. Firstly, it's worth saying that the Gritstone, or grit, is a truly unique rock type, unlike anything else in the world. It's a hard, coarse-grained rock, and this rough surface provides outstanding friction, allowing you to stand on or grip the very smallest of features. The best time for the grit is over the winter months, when cooler temperatures can maximise friction. It goes without saying, like with all rock types, avoid when wet. Wet grit is weak grit. Give it plenty of time to dry out to avoid causing damage. So let's get this over with. Please, please, please use the designated parking spaces. If they're busy, you've got to move on and try another crag. Parking is one of the biggest bugbears for landowners in the area. Please be respectful and do your bit to help protect the delicate access agreements. Bouldering is booming. This increased footfall is having an effect on the rock and surrounding area. Please ensure to use a bouldering pad to minimise ground erosion and protect your fall. Also, please ensure you stick to the footpaths and avoid going out into the open moorland. There is some really delicate wildlife that needs protecting. In advance of your trip, make sure there aren't any restrictions by checking Natural England's open access website or the BMC's regional access database. Dogs in particular are allowed in the spring and early summer, but they need to be on a lead to avoid disturbing nesting ground birds and lambing. Due to the high friction of the rock, you can use minimal chalk, and when it comes to brushing, please do it gently and with a soft brush. Please avoid using tick marks. Not only are they unsightly, but they can really ruin the experience for the next climber. Working on your route reading, memory and observational skills will also pay dividends in the long run. There are loads of ways to minimise risk and land safely. Before you set off, make sure you read the route and place your pads in the optimal location for where you think you might fall. When using multiple pads, again, think about the places you might fall and avoid placing the gaps directly under fall zones, as you may fall through. Finally, if you haven't been outside bouldering before, make sure you increase your height gradually and start on small boulders. You want complete peace of mind in your ability to land safely. We always recommend going out climbing with a partner, and having a spotter massively reduces your chances of injury. They can move pads into optimal locations, stack them for higher up, and ensure you land in the middle of the pad should you fall off. With all that adrenaline and nervous energy, you might feel the need for facilities to come on. If it does, make sure you use the designated toilets, but if an emergency strikes, be respectful, find a quiet place without disturbing anything and take it home with you. Dog poo bags work a treat and take up no space in your bag. Chipping and the use of any kind of resin is strictly prohibited. It's never been a thing and is completely unacceptable anywhere you go. Barbecues, fires and stoves risk starting wildfires and are strictly prohibited. Please refrain from using any kind of open flame. Stick to the crag snacks and wait until you get home for that fresh cup of tea or 3-course meal. The BMC has been doing some great work through their Hills to Ocean campaign. When you're all packed up and ready to leave, make sure you take your rubbish with you and pick up anything else you see on the way out. So those are our key points for bouldering here in the Peak District. For any further information on how to access the crag itself, please head over to the BMC website or the Regional Access database, and thank you for watching.
Hello and welcome to the British Bouldering Championships 2024. Oh my goodness, how time flies. Today I'm joined by Monty James. Monty, thanks for coming, joining us. You were here yesterday, climbing on these blocks. Didn't quite make it through today, very close though. How you doing?
I'm great. I had a great time yesterday. The boulders were really well set and I can't wait to watch them today.
Yeah, so we've got probably the best seats in the house right now. We're right just in front of the climbing wall, the crowd sort of behind us over there, so we can see everything. And I think one of the biggest changes this year obviously is the venue. We're here at the last Sundance in Leeds, real change from Cliffhanger in Sheffield. I know this was your first year competing in seniors, but it's a big change for the event. How did you get on? Did you enjoy your first foray into the seniors?
I felt like the vibe was really good. Like it felt really well organised, and the music, everything made it a really nice event. I think everyone enjoyed themselves, and for me as a first one, it's set a good bar to beat.
Yeah, well obviously you're on the GB team, so you're familiar with comps and you've climbed a lot, but the stress is totally different, right?
Yeah, it's really interesting how you deal with the stress for nationals compared to internationals, and sometimes the nationals are actually more stressful because you feel like you've got to do it. You are the best here, so you've got to do well.
Yeah, performance is key. But anyway, enough from us. We're going to be chatting in your ears all afternoon. We're going to head over and join the competition, just starting now with our qualifiers from yesterday, and they're coming out in reverse order. So the people who qualified in 20th position are starting the comp, and then we're going to work forwards as usual, ending up with the best people coming out last. I mean, I say best, that's a bit harsh. It's not the best. Everyone's really good, but you know what I mean. So anyway, let's head over to F1 and M1 visuals. Who we got on the blocks?
So on M1 we have Finley Kurzweil from down south in Devon. He climbs at the Key and was on the GB Boulder team this year.
Yeah. So
and then on female one we have Rena Convoy.
Yeah. So the youth very much coming through, I think, is one thing we can say from the qualifiers this time round. You know, obviously it's a really busy year this year. Olympics. We've also got the World Youth Championships going on right at the moment as well. So it's a good opportunity for everyone who's here to, you know, make a semi-final, maybe make a final, and yeah, I'm really interested to see how they get on.
Yeah, it's going to be an exciting day.
Yeah, well, both of them are starting off on the left-hand side of the comp wall here at the last Sundance, and for those of you not familiar with the centre, this is essentially just a giant slab. So really technical start to the comp for the guys. Little traversing out on these rock city volumes, and then awkward foot swap to get established over on the right-hand side of the groove, and then a bit of a finished teetery one for the guys. But yeah, Finley making good progress.
He's made that foot swap quite easy, which we've been told is one of the harder bits of the boulder.
Yeah, and the same for Rena, just not quite figuring out the body position on that. These really new interesting shapes from core climbing, obviously helping the event out with some Gucci grips. And yeah, T to town for both to start the comp. I used to hate coming out to slabs. Like, it was my, you just want to get some grips and feel confident, do some moves, you know what I mean? How are you? Do you feel pretty comfortable coming out to a slab?
I've actually, in the last 2 months, I've really started to love a slab.
Oh, really?
Before I was like, oh god, my feet are going to slip on the start of a boulder, but now I'm kind of in love with them.
Ah,
so
nice.
I'd have liked this, but some of these athletes would definitely prefer the steep, powerful boulders.
Yeah, get some edges, bring it back. So yeah, we've got a really interesting one there. She's got stood up holding onto the terrible right hand, which is not really a handhold, it's more of a foothold, the setters tell us. So good thinking outside the box there, tagging that hold.
It's very much hidden for you at home.
Yeah, and the same with this next section here in the black of the sundial. These holds are terrible little, almost pebbles. If you could get a couple of coins and screw them to the edge of the wall, that's the kind of depth of hold. Olympic references are fun.
The commentary was a bit better at 2024.
Yeah, they were. Good
Not
job.
saying it was terrible at Tokyo.
Yeah, well, as we progress through the rounds, I'm sure you'll see plenty of variety. There'll be plenty of sloppers and all sorts for people to get stuck into. But yeah, anyway, I digress to niche climbing references within the first 5 minutes. This is good. But those holds up there are terrible. That's all you need to really know.
According to our paperwork here, Rena's got a plus 10 centimetre ape index, which is huge.
What are you, Monty? You've got a pretty good one.
Probably like plus 4 centimetres. I'm just really tall. So.
Yeah, you're 8 foot with a plus 4. Nice. Yeah, good work from Finley there. Absolutely getting on board with a little hop. That's the way forward. Yeah, Rena looking much more secure now. She's figured out how to use those feet. The feet are actually really, really poor on this boulder. So it's all about weight transfer as usual, as you find on the slab. Got to feel really confident, drive as much through the feet as you can. The holds up there are not great, so there's nothing really to create pull. You've got to be pushing with the feet.
It's really quite difficult to get the weight through the right foot that she was just trying to hold, because your hips are so far left.
Yeah, exactly. That centre of gravity, they're always playing with that, right? It's one of the tools that they use to make people fall off, those little barn doors. But yeah, good first rotation. Got zones secured from both competitors. I'm sure they'll be disappointed not to get the top, but that clock does run down quickly. Not our friends. So in the venue, we've got George Londell doing the commentary for us. You'll probably hear just announcing our next two athletes, Alex Prescott and Ruth Hardy. Alex is somebody I know quite well from down on the London scene. He's a route setter down there, and I believe it's his first semi-final, so British Championship, so he's done really well to get here. But as a route setter, you'd kind of expect him to be able to read these problems, so let's see how he gets on. Yeah,
these athletes have never seen these boulders before, so they've got to work it out in the 5 minutes. In the qualification round, they had got demo videos and got to watch other people climb them.
Yeah.
So it changes how you have to approach your 5 minutes.
Yeah, for sure. This is the real test of a climber now, how much they can read it. Alex there looking a little bit nervous. Broken the duck now. You know, you kind of sometimes want to get a fall out of the way so you can relax sometimes, I also find. Meanwhile, we've got Ruth Hardy pulling on to F1, getting on board with these slopes, looking to tag in that crimp as well. Might not be the way forward for some competitors. Looks really awkward to get any traction on the feet with that palm down.
She really needs her left foot on the hold her hand was on to really be able to stand up.
So the knowledge we got from the route setters when we just had our viewing earlier was that first left foot for F1, if you can get your heel on, you can drive up a lot better generally. But she's done the run on. That was actually what I said when we did the viewing, was is it a run on? And they said no,
she just had to ensure there she had 3 on the bottom volume and 1 on the top volume. Same happened for Alex there. His right foot was on that second volume.
Yeah, so awkward start there. But Ruth's on. Smart thinking from her. You know, sometimes that lateral thinking, you know, it's set one way, but you read it differently, and you know, you can maybe get a little bit of an advantage.
Especially in a semi-final format, you have to be very good at trying lots of different methods.
Yeah, absolutely. It's the old SAS mantra is what I always think of in comps. You've got to improvise, adapt, and overcome.
Wow, that's sounds
You know,
quite
remember that,
fancy.
Monty. Remember that. You know. No, but it's so true. You've got to be able to adapt to not only the boulders that are coming out, the environment, changing conditions. It is probably one of the most complex sports out there, I reckon. So glad I don't have to do it anymore. It's so much less stressful.
No, it is fun.
I do miss it. I do miss it. Every time I come back, I get a pang, and then I pull on a few grips and I quickly realise that I'm nowhere near at the level anymore, so it's not a problem. But yeah, Ruth, back over on F1, trying to weight this right foot. So that weight transfer you were talking about a minute ago, Monty, really difficult to use these terrible handholds, which she's just got in that black strip there, to push her centre of gravity over that right foot. It's all well and good when you've got a good foot to try and push up onto, but when you're trying to transfer onto what is a terrible foothold, it all becomes a lot more difficult.
Ruth here has said that she does like this type of climbing, this style. Crimps, sketchy slabs, and techie slabs.
Ah, she's come to the right place then, because looking across the wall, there's quite a lot of techie stuff for her to get stuck into. So, yeah, I'm sure she's going to have a field day. So the clock's running down. We've got about 1 minute 40 left for this rotation, and as you all know, basically the climbers are going to come out in sequence, and we're gradually going to get more and more climbers on the wall. So eventually we're going to go to a split screen format, and there'll be lots more to see. But at the moment, because we're on the second rotation, we're just focusing on these first athletes, and gradually, as more and more people come out, we'll start to see the problems get unlocked. People will find ways to complete them, and I'm sure we'll see some tops fairly sharpish, particularly on these first two climbs.
What you'll see on female one is that the tape points to the volume, so you can actually hold anywhere on the volume for the start. So you can see she's got the small foothold as the start hold she's using.
Yeah. Oh, Alex just not enjoying life right now. It's the same thing I was saying earlier, when you're really nervous coming out, trying to get weight through terrible slopey footholds is just not what you want. Just needs to relax a little bit more.
He said he likes to climb on jugs, so I don't think he's going to find them here.
You and me both, brother. I have a reoccurring dream about, well, when I was competing, I had a reoccurring dream where I would come out to a problem and there'd be hidden jugs that only I could find, and I'd do these problems really easily. Anyway,
I wish that had happened.
I know, it's every climber's dream, right?
I think it's just you dreaming that, but
yeah. So Alex had enough for this rotation. Meanwhile, Ruth just trying to run down the buzzer and get in. She thinks she's going to run out of time now. Yep. So she's off, but good effort from her. Zone secured, and we're going to move to our next rotation. So it's going to be Finley back out onto M1 and Sol joining us. Finley on M2 and Sol joining us on M1. And then in the women's, we've got Flo joining the competition, and Rena back onto F2. So yeah, we're going to hopefully switch to a split screen so we can try and show you all in a second. And here we go. Wow, mind blown. Look at the technology. Top right hand corner of your screen, we've got F2 and M2, and on the left, obviously we're back to the images we've seen before. So lots to keep you up to date with.
Flo, the new athlete on female one, has been competing in BBC since 2021, so quite experienced at this competition.
Yeah, Finley here climbing really well. This start of this boulder is super tricky, and he's absolutely made a mockery of it. Now let's see how he gets on. He's got to generate some momentum to get transferred over into this groove. Chief researcher for this event this year is Dave Barons. Probably the most experienced GB climber that has ever been, and this problem was set by him. The Squirm Lord is a man after my own heart, likes to get people squirming in small spaces, so that boulder is right up his street. But super good effort from Finley on the competition so far, coming out on M1 and basically dropping very high up on trying to get established on the sidewall. Really good effort on the flash, and then coming out again on M2 and pretty much making a mockery of it.
Talking to him yesterday and his dad, he was a bit disappointed with his qualification result, but hopefully he can bring it back in semis today. He just about scraped in, but...
Yeah, well, sometimes, you know, coming out first in this round is not a bad thing. Conditions can be much better. Obviously, there's not as many clues potentially for you to see on the wall, but conditions are certainly good. So, see how he goes. Meanwhile, on F1, we've got Flo making really good progress pretty quick, getting stuck into these terrible, they're almost like pebbles. Can't even call them pebbles. They are properly like 2p pieces up on there, just enough to get crimping on. So Sol also finding it hard to get established on the feet there. It's really squirmy and boxed. You're in like a very small space trying to transfer over through the feet on M1. So Alex Prescott and Sol both struggling with that move.
As you can see in front of M2, Finn's got a towel, which the climbers use to clean their feet before they get on the wall. From qualies yesterday, some of these mats were super covered in chalk. Yeah. And you don't want that, especially getting on a slab. You don't want that before you get on.
Yeah, but big shout out to the crew here at the last Sundance. They were here very late, hoovering, doing all sorts, and the centre's looking phenomenal. Dust extraction is a real passion project of mine. I like to judge climbing centres by the cleanliness of their crash mats, and they're doing a cracking job here. Chosen black for a colour which is controversial, hard to keep clean.
You do have the experience.
I know. Well, this is why they, you know, people want to hear about this kind of stuff. Come on, Finley. Just not quite getting the right body position there. Really hard on those kind of press grooves where you've got to find that point where you can transfer from feet to hands and vice versa. Just getting his centre of gravity stuck in no man's land. But still got a bit of time left on the clock, 1 minute 15. So taking a knee, and I'm sure we'll give it one more go. The start of that boulder is really powerful though, so it's going to be taking it out of him. You can just see in your picture there, he's shaking out the arms.
Sol over on M1 has come down from Belfast in Northern Ireland.
Ah, fair play. Good work. Nice to see. BBCs is still attracting the best talent from all the way across the UK. I think we've also got international competitors as well, one from South Africa, I believe. So yeah, it's still the event to be at.
Flo there was trying to get over her foot just with the two pebbles in the black zone before moving her right foot up, which is a new thing that we haven't seen yet. Most people have gone from the zone to put their foot up on the tiny foothold.
Yeah, exactly. So they're out of time, unfortunately. Rena's attempt's not going to count. She's run out. It's obviously not a 4+ event, so once that buzzer goes, you are out of time. So we're going to welcome back Alex and Ruth onto their second boulders and introduce new competitors, Tom and Ruth. Let's see what they can make of this problem.
You might not be able to see there on the live stream, but Female 2 has a very exciting top section where the route setters are hoping people might face outwards.
Yeah, giving the people what they want. Hollywood moves. So as you can see, Ruth's just eyeing it up there. Got those big sort of blue slopey holds vertically aligned, and as Monty says, you're going to step right onto the big steep side of the prow, and some madness will ensue. But let's see how Ruth gets on. A lot of work to do to get up there. We're told this foot sequence here is quite tricky to get established. You've got to have a really solid right toe hook to enable you to then get this handhold as she's doing, and then bump the left foot up in different steps to create the height to allow you to then release into the higher holds.
Tom has been very specific on his ape index. It's -1/4 inches.
What? Well, I'm a stickler for statistics, so you know that's some pretty accurate measurement right there. 1/4 of an inch. You could just say I'm neutral. I mean, 1/4 of an inch, plus or minus, who knows? So Alex is starting his second boulder. Pulls on. Again, this is a bit of knowledge we were told by the route setters. Tapping in with your right hand on the wall first is good knowledge, allowing you just to take a bit of a speed out of the move. Here goes Alex, getting this heel in, riding it, and then the zone, nicely done. Also on the M1 there, Tom made good progress getting stood up, but just needed to pop his right foot and right hand across at the same time, so yeah, a bit trickier. Ruth's made good work on F2, but she just needs to be confident to, there it is, to bump that left foot up to allow her to get the height required to get a bit further up on that hold.
That foot she's trying to bump her foot up onto is just got a tiny bit of texture right in the middle of it. The rest is just dual texture.
The stuff of nightmares, but we love it. Yeah, in fact, this tour you're going to see a real mixture of styles as you would expect in a BBC. It's definitely not following the IFSC format in terms of distribution of styles. I mean, the boulders look incredible, but yeah, I think they've been a lot less prescriptive, giving the route setters a bit more freedom. So personally, I kind of like that. I think it's important in an event to, you know, try and give the route setters the freedom to, you know, really deliver top quality problems that they want, and they'll adjust the style accordingly. But yeah, Ruth has figured out this move now. She just needs to get that left foot. Ah, no. Yeah, unlucky.
The setters for this event are really good. We've got multiple IFSC setters, some really experienced setters as well.
A lot of chiefs. Dave Barons, Max Ayrton, Jan Genoux, Matt Cousins, Amy Bagwell-Smith. You know, it's a really... Oh, and I'm missing someone. Who am I missing? Ewan.
I couldn't tell you his name.
Ewan. I think it's Ewan. Yes. One of the new guys to join the team. Done a fantastic job. The qualies yesterday, they looked like final boulders. I don't know how you felt competing on them, but the quality of like holds and everything, it looked phenomenal.
It very much felt like you were at a big event.
Yeah.
This was a big deal, which was, it's nice as a climber, because sometimes qualies can just feel like a round you have to get through to get to semis.
For sure.
But there was like, I think there was over 100 competitors competing, in the men and women.
Yeah.
Which led to lots of people having good climbs.
Yeah, so these guys have done really well already just to even qualify. But anyway, enough of that. Here goes Ruth, first person to secure, hopefully in a second, once she sorts her position out to get zone. The next one, there she goes. She's got to use it and then get established on this groove. You got it right, just walk the feet. Ah, no way. Unlucky. Alex as well, battling through this one. Smile on his face, but not having the best time. Pretty gassed out on the steepest part of the wall there. He's ending his rotation. Meanwhile, we've got Ruth on the teeter zone, and she's calling it a day. So in a second, we're going to open up 3 boulders. You're going to see competitors Finley and Rina come down into the 3rd boulder for the first time today. Now this one is something special for M3. We got the absolutely no text flat holds, so these are wild. Points for if you can tell me what's inside those holds. We can obviously see they're completely see-through. You won't see on your screen, but there's a couple of interesting objects inside each of those holds. Finley's going straight in with the sequence. Oh, that is grim. Did you see him slide off that? Just absolutely no friction whatsoever.
Very much on these no texture holds, you want to have no chalk, is often what people say. Sometimes people say water on your hands is very helpful. Not dried liquid chalk is something people have tried.
Yeah, well, he's on the complete opposite there, Finley. I just saw him chalking up. So he's back on. Might see a few people licking their hands maybe later. Who knows?
Don't worry, it's a very hygienic sport, climbing.
Yeah. No blood, no spit. There you go. Good times.
Out on
It's a good
female
night.
one, we have Carmel Moran, and on men's one, Joe Zabirez.
Yeah. Super experienced competitors. They'll know what to do. But yeah, a lot to keep track of. F3 here as well is a tricky little crimpy number. You could basically some really bad crimps on shoulders to engage with, and it's about transferring the weight through these initial starting foot volumes before you can get established on that massive purple side pull up high.
On men's 3, you very much want to have your lead chalk bag with you, your smaller chalk bag attached to you.
For the top half.
If you do that start, you want to chalk up afterwards.
Yeah. Get that chalk in for the top half. Joe, meanwhile, first guy smashing the slab, and he's got established on this second part. Super unlucky. I mean, in my opinion, that zone hold seems quite low on M1 to me. I mean, obviously if we were in a different event, you might have 2 zones, but it certainly felt like he'd worked so hard to get to that second sidewall. Finley,
over on men's 3, has stuck the paddle on the no text holds.
Yeah, and now the fun starts. He's got to really switch the style up. Burly tension off the foot, and he's just got to tack his way through these terrible holds. Keep pulling, come on, there it is.
We were told by the route setters that you preferably want to go 2 hands to the top, otherwise you're just going to slip off of it.
Yeah. So he's learnt a lot on that, and that's so important for these competitors to really remember the breaks that they find on the boulders, exactly what they've done. Bank it.
It's very important to be able to keep improving throughout your 5 minutes and not have like 3 good attempts and then the rest bad.
Yeah,
it's something that competition climbers have to get right, and it's what makes a good competition climber.
Yeah, for sure.
Unless you can just flash all the boulders. But
yeah, we can't all be Toby Roberts, can we? Here goes Carmel. She's up high again.
It took that long for us to mention our Olympic champion.
Yeah, I did hold back. It was going to be the first thing I started with, but no. Super amazing summer to be for GB climbing. I mean, we've got to give props to all our Olympians and the teams that supported them, the families. It's just absolutely incredible what we've seen this summer. So shout out to Molly, Erin, Hamish and Toby, repping it for GB, incredible. And also I know you wanted to give a shout out today to all the people over in China at the Worlds.
Yeah, so at the moment the Youth World Championships is on. We've nearly finished with the lead. We've got the under 16 finals. Just as this finishes, I think it starts. And we have Iggy Rinaldi in the final for the under 16s, and we've already had Reece Colon and Jack McDougall in the finals for the under 20s.
Yeah, incredible. But we're here at the BBCs. Let's focus on this one now, as we've got Finn again learning really well, crushing this boulder. Let's see if he can give it some more this time. Yes, there it is. So we've got our first top of the men's round so far, with Finn on M3. Super impressive there from him.
I said you might have to go 2 hands, but he's proved us wrong there already.
Yeah, too strong for us. And Joe, with just 10 seconds left, he's got to move quick now. Step through to this little foothold and give it some. Come on, Joe. On the buzzer. No, he's out of time. Super frustrating. But good start to the round. He should take some confidence from that. There's still another 3 boulders to go.
That buzzer when you're on the wall is just, it gets to you.
I hear it in my dreams sometimes.
You've got 5 seconds when it starts, but it feels like milliseconds.
Yeah, for sure. So we're going to welcome familiar face to a lot of people, Captain Cutloose, Louis Parkinson, back at the BBCs. Good to see him competing alongside Pippa.
I don't think I need to read what his strengths are, but
I'll be interested to know, what does he define his strengths as?
Dinos, what a surprise, smiling and glasses.
Yeah, sounds about right.
Pippa has said her favourite style of climbing is speed climbing. She might be in the wrong place.
Yeah, potentially. Yeah. here goes Alex on the dual text, just firing off. Louis not in his happy place, but making good progress across the slab. Teetering across nicely. There you go. Probably going to get the zone on the flash go. Here we go. Come on, Lou. Louis been a consistent participant here at the BBCs over the years and always wanted to make a final. Maybe this is the year for him.
He said he might be in it, have done BBCs 10 times, I think, so far.
Yeah, he's a glutton for punishment, that's for sure.
That's nearly as many times I've been alive.
Ah, you young whippersnapper, depressing me about my age now. So yeah, lots to keep you going. Ruth, we just saw making good progress on F3. First person to get over onto this big purple Rock City hold. Kind of like slope, it's not in cut at all, it's a complete sloper, but does get better the higher up you go. So that's key for her. So Pippa on her first boulder again, getting stuck into these pebbles. She's choosing to take the lower of the two. Now she's going to try and... Okay, here we go. Louis on M1, making short work of that. Now he's got to figure out how to get through. It's quite dynamic and quick, this move. So that's the job. Exactly right. Bit of a coordination finish. You're moving from one side to the other, so he's got to hop his feet round and then transfer the weight into a shoulder to get it in control. But he's got plenty of time, so might see our first top there.
Just for your information on YCS results, there is the live results, or as live as they can make them, so you can see where your favourite athletes are placed.
Nice, nice. We have the technology.
It's just Mark, the judge, just roaming around looking at the other judges.
Yeah, yeah. But if you want, I can just make up some results as we go along and try and make it. I'll give you my interpretation of who's winning on a moral basis rather than actual factum. So yeah, Ruth, similarly getting stuck in here, using a heel, not a toe, might be needing to change that approach, I think. Louis straight back in, really learning as he goes on every attempt. So let's see how he gets on here. Yes! First top for us on M1. Louis Parkinson doing the slab. Who'd have thought it?
Well, that sets him up great for the rest of the round.
Yeah, wonders will never cease. Meanwhile, Ruth Hardy is making good progress transferring through these really small shouldery crimps. Going slightly out of sequence, but kind of working, kind of not. She'll... yeah, Alex finding the right momentum on M3, but not quite sticking these completely no-tex holds.
Those no-tex holds are so hard to understand how you need to hold them, whether you want chalk or not, and sometimes whether chalk on them from other competitors is a help or a hindrance.
Yeah.
I don't think a brush is going to do much on that hold.
No. Yeah, it's really, really difficult to know what to do. You're just in a world of pain.
Those holds made their first appearance in Bern at the World Champs.
Incredible. Pippa also still going strong on this F1. She's found the sequence that everyone else has been adopting. It's just getting that weight over on the right-hand foot that is proving to be the most challenging part as the buzzer comes in and she is out of there. So we're going to have Maisie joining us with Fred Williams. And we're now opening up the fourth boulder for the comp. Over on the far right-hand side, your bottom right-hand corner of the screen. Finn obviously coming off a top on M3, so he'll be full of confidence as he starts up on these interesting EP blobs. Again, not much to go on for the competitors on these holds, so it's all body positioning and just getting stuck in and getting on board.
These holds are going to sap a lot of your skin and energy.
Yeah, a lot of shoulder strength for sure required here, but Finn's fitting in the box really nicely. Yeah, Finn making good progress here. Kind of told this is the real hard bit here, getting established. The feet basically turn to nothing on the volume, and you've got to really push up. On M2 though, we've got Joe again getting into the groove really well. That's super strong. We're going to see our first top here. Made it seem like an absolute path.
Really good flexibility there to get his left foot up. The route setters were hoping they'd do a right hand over to palm off that volume, but when you're as flexible as Joe, you don't need to worry.
Doesn't need it. Coming in hot with a flash, I think, from that. So, yeah, that's our first top of M2. So far, we've seen a top on 1, 2, 3 in the men's competition, and in the women's, we are yet to see a top just yet.
Fred on M1. M1 has already won the JBBCs this year. So can he do the double?
So he's not bad then. No. Super good work from Flo here on F3. Getting into the meat of this boulder, the palm down. Yeah, nice. She read it perfectly. Just not quite getting enough tension through the foot to allow her to go up a bit more statically to that crimp.
Struggling slightly a bit with the shoulder stability on the right shoulder.
Yeah. Still unlocking it pretty early in the time rotation, 2:40 to go, so I'm sure she'll have another good go before the end. But yeah, good to see a full rotation of problems on the go. Obviously Joe came out and smashed his second boulder, so he's got extra rest. But Sol here sticking the paddle and getting stuck into these top volumes. He's not listened to your advice though, Monty, not taking the chalk bag, so might live to regret that.
Yeah, he's going to struggle with the friction on those holds.
Yeah, going from the complete no text to text. Meanwhile, Fred figuring out how to get the foot plant across here. He needs to get either a foot swap or a dynamic step across on the go. Here we go, eyeing it up. Ooh, going for the palm down. That is not the one.
Maisie on female 1 has travelled from Leeds, so not very far.
No, she's probably slept in her own bed, I'd imagine. That's a nice treat for a comp, I always think. Finn over on his final boulder here, just struggling to figure out the body position here. It's all sort of pushing, palming up into those holds, which is going to absolutely sap you on your fourth boulder of the day.
That type of move on M4 has been seen quite a lot at the World Cups and on the world stage. So yes, bringing that to the BBCs.
For sure, so difficult to separate all these competitors. Like everybody is so strong, so flexible. So you've got to find moves that really challenge them in new and unusual ways. But Finn's going to give it up for today, ending that one early. Impressive from him though, getting the top on M3, first top of the day. So let's see how he ends up in the results at the end of the day. Got 30 seconds left now. Carmel making good progress. She's just not quite holding the rotation. Ooh. The same on F1 for Maisie. Almost hitting that starting volume on the way down. Unfortunate.
Flo was struggling on female 3 to get back up to where she did in the 2-3 minute mark.
Yeah. Unfortunate, they're running out of time. That's what makes this comp climbing game so difficult. It's this time restriction, and obviously they're trying to read all these boulders and climb them within the time limit, and that is what makes it hard. If these were down the wall and they had unlimited time, they would absolutely smash them, no doubt.
So out on men's one, we have Mark.
Mark Scanlon, yeah,
And
Susan.
then on female one, we've got Hannah Hunt. Nice alliteration in the name. Just all the athletes brushing, route reading their problems, because you've got to remember they haven't seen them before. And all the other athletes have chalked them up for them, so they're all less frictiony.
Yeah. Lots of brushing going on already. Temps are pretty good inside here. Obviously, normally this event is in Sheffield at the Cliffhanger outside. And we are at a new venue this year, last Sundance in Leeds. We're inside, so different conditions for people to deal with. And at the moment, it's nice and cool inside here, but
I think you'd be surprised. Those athletes are going to be very warm.
Yeah.
Lots of them will have fans, probably, to keep their fingers cool.
yeah, for sure. But the day's early. Sure, skin's going to become a premium pretty soon for those.
And with all the people in here, it's heats it up quite quickly.
Yeah, we've got a good turnout so far. Must be at least a couple of hundred people watching. So that's just for the semi-final rounds. If you're in Leeds, I think there's tickets sold out, I think, for the inside seating for later. But if you want to come down, there's a big, massive screen outside, and you can watch live from there.
I think there's already a group of you outside watching us commentate on this outside.
Yeah. Here goes Louis. Ah, nice. Tom sticking the paddle. Just got to get stuck in now. Drill those feet. Come on, buddy. Get that left foot across. There you go. Nicely done. Come on, Tom. Stick with it. Got to get through these terrible slopey holds now until you can fire for the top. So we've only seen one top of that boulder so far from Finn. He's the first competitor out on it. Super impressive from him to unlock that. So the only boulder in the men's competition we've not seen top so far is M4, the big yellow ones on the bottom right hand corner of the screen. So far in the women's competition, stern round, we've not seen a single top. So
Hannah on female one likes her crimpy slabs, so
wow.
quite a lot of them have said that. We don't seem to have seen a top yet, but
yeah, exactly. Pippa choosing a different approach there on F2, trying to shortcut and go straight out to the footholds of the higher section, so not quite working out for her. Meanwhile, Louis in a bit more of a happy place on an overhang with some crimps.
very much need a strong core there to get your foot out.
Yeah. But he's got the first top of the day on M1, so he's in a good position if he can continue to try and unlock some of these further ones.
Mark said to keep motivated over lockdown, he liked to train with his brother, which is really nice.
Oh.
I wasn't training with my brother over lockdown.
No, I was very much on the aperitif all day vibe. No. Pippa going back into the traditional approach on F2 and look to work a little bit more. It's just again that left foot hop seems to be the bit that people are really struggling with.
It's interesting to see who picks a toe hook and who picks a heel hook on female 2.
Yeah.
It often depends on your style. If you're longer, often you'll go for a heel hook.
Yeah.
And if you're shorter, a toe hook's quite nice.
Tom though, learning from his mistakes on the previous, trying to put the foot up high first, but firing off those terrible, terrible slopers. Alex Prescott shimming his way across M4 in the corner. This is just a world of pain. You've got to get so much weight through the shoulders.
The pictures of their face on that climb are
Yeah.
going to be
Yeah,
wonderful.
Mark's really struggling to read this first boulder. I think he's probably going to sack it off in a second. He's been going very, very quick trying to get to the zone rather than the old teeter. Let's see if he changes his strategy. He's out of there.
You really do love the word teeter, don't you?
I do say it a lot, yeah. But that's what it is. You've got to twinkle toes across the slab.
Or just the letter T at this point.
Tea in general, yeah. I'd love a cup of tea. Cool. So next rotation, we've got Amy and Raj out on their first boulders. Joe obviously made short work of M2 just on the rotation before last, so he'll be looking to continue that run. He got super unlucky on M1 as well, just running out of time for the top. So if he can keep this momentum going, he's going to give himself a really good shot. Meanwhile, all to play for in the women's. We've still not seen a top, not seen many zones, so somebody can come out and really lay a marker down in that event.
What you'll notice is the only athletes on the mat are the climbers. There's you go back into isolation after you've either topped or after you've finished your round, unlike in qualies where you'd be sat backwards on the mat so you couldn't see.
Yeah,
just up in the stakes a little bit in semis.
for sure. Raj just firing off on his first go there.
Raj just doesn't want to embarrass himself today.
Is that what he put on his sheet? Oh, bless. Can't embarrass yourself. You've made the semi-final of the British Bouldering Championship. That's incredible.
And his most memorable achievement was a V2.
They can be the bangers, right? Carmel getting stuck in on F3. These terrible small crimps. You've got to get really high up, confident on your feet, so you can get high on the shoulder to engage on those crimps. Hanging low with straight arms, you're just not going to do anything with them.
Joe trying a high heel on the start hold there. I don't think it's going to work, but they can prove us wrong.
Yeah, and Raj is up and making good progress there, doing the old dynamic hop across. Fred on his second rotation as well, just getting stuck into the steep section here. Really hard starting position. The right hand starting hold, which you use for your hand and foot, is not great. So you've got to be really, really strong on the core.
Amy on female one is another one of our Irish climbers, down from Dublin.
You know, it's the fastest growing city in the world.
I didn't. I thought it would be somewhere like India with a massive population.
Yeah, but it keeps Dublin and Dublin.
You got me there.
Ah! The old man jokes, that's why they bring me in.
The dad jokes.
Yeah. Anyway, that's it. That's the only one I know. So you're safe now. But thank you for teeing up that one up for me.
My pleasure. Not the audience's.
Raj is up. He's on board. Come on, Raj. And Fred also making short work of the groove. He's in. And that's another top.
Lots of the athletes making that last bit on that blue men's 2 actually quite easy.
Yeah.
They're quite strong in that position.
Yeah. As you said before, Barron's kind of thought they'd all be using that giant black volume a bit higher up as well, but no need for him. Right at the same time, we had Raj just pinging off the transfer of the slab. He'd made short work getting steps across and was staring down at the final holds, but just missing out. Joe unlocking it perfectly on the Dualtex M3, and we got Flo on her fourth boulder problem, trying to figure out super intensive core section on that. You've got to kick off the volume to generate momentum to get your left foot over on that big red volume just above where it says F4. Anyway, all eyes on Joe as he's taking his time just to figure out the right body position. Impressive on these slopes. Just powering out, but he's got time, 50 seconds just to regroup, maybe have one more good go. Raj is back in. No, just rushing it a little bit. You've competed with Raj a few times, right?
A little bit. At the hang comp he was there.
At the hang comp. I bet that was the time of your life.
Yeah, he's forcing me to say this, guys.
Yeah. Anyway, that was a fun time. We had a hoolie of a time. And here goes Raj, super impressive, 15 seconds, and he looks cool as a cucumber now. That transfer is so difficult. You've got to move way quicker than you want to.
Come on, Joe. Have to speed up a little bit.
Yeah, 5 seconds on the buzzer. He's done. But still, that zone could prove important. Not many people potentially will unlock that paddle on the no-tex. So, yeah, but unlucky. You never want to get high on a boulder and not execute.
On female one, we have Jessica Claxton-Daniels. And on men's one, we have Adam Snow.
Yeah. And as we look across, we can see Louis Parkinson back in rotation, Pippa Watkin, Ruth Yeomanson, Tom Jenkinson. Yeah. Big hitters still to come out, of course, later on. We're seeing the people who qualified in 20th, 19th, 18th coming forward. So still got a lot of people with names in the comp scene that you'd be familiar with. We're obviously missing a few people this year because of the Olympics and World Youth, but still super strong, and an opportunity for these guys to compete on a much bigger stage, profile of event, multiple rounds, which is always good.
What you might not be able to notice on the live stream as well is once the athletes have finished on men's 4 and women's 4, they have to stay for 5 minutes, and this is just in case an appeal comes through from someone where they have to then get back on a boulder, so they're still in isolation format at that point.
Interesting. Good knowledge from Monty there, bringing it in.
Some people are often a bit confused why they're just sat there.
Yeah, it's the chair of shame. That's what... No, it's not. It's not.
Depends how many tops and zones you've got.
For sure. Good work here from Pippa. Getting stuck in on the zone hold. She needs to continue to wrestle that with the right hand. This left foot is terrible. Louis in. He's got a top on the first one, so if he can get another top here, he's going to give himself a really good shot in his happy place, but he needs to get some feet on. Oh, no. Adam on his first one. Oh, and on F2, Hannah Hunt finally holding the cut loose. We've not seen many competitors get this high yet, so let's see if she can get the shuffle on now to transfer the feet all the way to the right. That's the next tricky section. Meanwhile, Adam, he looks like a tall chap as well. He's probably got a plus something or other.
He's a plus 3 inches.
Plus 3.
So he's 6'1" with 3 inches. So.
Oh, fair play. Tom Jenkinson also. Sorry, we've totally missed him. Smashed through for the first time on M4, getting up high. I feel like in climbing there should be like, you know, in golf there's handicaps based on like how good you like. Ape index, right? Surely there should be some kind of handicap on a boulder based on ape index.
You say that. Sometimes height does help. Sometimes you just can't get on the start.
That's true. It all comes out in the wash anyway, doesn't it? Some boulders suit you. Here goes Louis Parkinson. Huge support here from the crowd.
Really wrestling with that.
Oh no! Just falling off that last move. 2 minutes left, so I'm sure he's got enough in the tank to have another go.
Do we even know what's inside that top hold?
We do, and it is a piece of Jenga.
Oh.
So you can put this boulder together like a Jenga tower.
Was that what the route setters were aiming to?
No, I just made that up. I just made that up, but I think it works.
Ever the comedian.
Yeah, there you go. Meanwhile, F2, Hannah Hunt has unlocked a really good sequence on this. She's super confident through the feet using the toe hook, but I've just cursed her and she's off.
Ruth sticking the jump out on female 4.
Yeah, and Tom over on this fourth one, making really good progress. He's the only competitor we've seen get past the zone on this, so hopefully he can get a good smash and finish it off with 1 minute 10 left.
None of the female athletes on female 4 have decided yet to throw the foot across to that red Rock City hold.
Yeah, there was a lot of tinkering last night with this fourth boulder for the women, changing orientations of hold, adding little clues in for them. Basically, it's a really hard flick across with the feet to get to that red, so they put on a little foot chip to help them with that, but nobody's read it just yet. Louis is powered out, unfortunately. He's going to give it one more. Here we go. Nice, Lou. Come on. We've also got Mark Scanlon on the second. All going off here. But I think Louis is powered out. Yeah, he's super frustrated on that one. He knows dropping the last hold, that is potentially going to cost him, but still he's got a top in the bank and a zone on everything else so far. So, you know, he's in it, and it's still too early to say what you're going to need. Meanwhile, Adam is in a ball of doom on M1.
On female one, we have Ember Mulhern, probably our youngest competitor here, 15.
Nice. 15.
And on the men's boulder, we have Leven.
Liven? Let's liven it up.
Yeah, I'm not the best with names.
I think L-I, I'm going to go lie.
Then there's an E.
Yeah. Anyway, I'm sure someone will correct us, and apologies if we have got it wrong. But anyway, I'm sure he'll liven it up.
We heard you the first time.
Yeah, but I didn't get the recognition I was looking for, Monty. So I have. The best jokes are the ones you have to say twice.
You sure?
Nice. Okay, right, back to the competition. Let's engage that brain. And Fred pulling on to M3, see if he can unlock that sequence. Joe with some seriously impressive biceps over on M4. That is, Sam Whitaker would be proud of those biceps. Speaking of, I can see him on the decks up there. DJ Gallup with the tunes today, living his best life.
Ember quickly up on the first boulder into the zone. She was on the GB Junior lead team last year.
Ah. Normally you have footholds on lead climbing, a bit more positive than that one on the slab.
Yeah, well, sometimes they just decide to make you campus, but...
Yeah, that's... Well, I'm a fan of that. In the Olympics, it was good to see some campus sections. I did enjoy that.
They loved the rose move in the pockets at the Olympics.
Yeah, it's classic. Give the people what they want, right? La vie en rose.
I have no clue what that means.
Oh, it's a very famous French song. So maybe that's why they did it, you know? France, Paris, La vie en rose. Or maybe it's just a classical move that everyone wants to see, right? Didn't see a single person kiss the bicep as they went through, though, which was disappointing. Here goes Joe. He's in. He's got the zone super controlled. Come on, Joe. Nice, buddy. Come on. He's got to give it some now. This is a hard move. Yeah. Fred is dialed in the paddle. And on F3, Maisie making good work transferring across these crimps. She looks in a happy place on these small holds. Now she's got to drive through that right foot and really push and pull. Good effort. Come on. Push, 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 push. No. Bit more.
Leven has said he wants self-control from this competition and to work on his handwriting. And I can just about read it.
Yeah. That is fair. That is some interesting handwriting right there. Here goes Carmel. She's got to engage the core here, really bounce, use that little chip to push off there. She's figured it out. You'd expect nothing less from a professional climbing coach.
Probably one of the best attempts we've seen on female 4 to date.
Yeah. She looks for the clues, and that is key. So Raj had a really good attempt on the first slab. He was getting to the last move pretty much every single go, but this second boulder so far proving a little bit sterner. Fred's back in on the paddle, making short work of that. Now he's got to hope he's got enough in the tank for this top section. Really, really poor slopers. It's all in the feet. You've got to get that right foot sequence so that you can almost be one move ahead with your feet so you can catch up.
The classic feet, hips, hands. Yeah. How you should try and climb a climb.
It's a classic.
Ember just trying to weight the right foot. Looking like she's going for a high left foot.
Yeah, might struggle to get the feet across from that position, but she's making good progress. Now she's totally one-sided. Carmel, our first competitor to get the zone on F4 too.
And has managed to balance across.
Oh,
Emma with
awesome
the
effort.
top.
Awesome effort. Youngest competitor, you said?
Yeah.
That's the arrogance of youth getting her to the top there, potentially. Love
That's
it.
a bit rude.
No, I love it. She's absolutely smashed that one. Confidence is key, right?
Exactly.
Oh man, that M1 is just so difficult to unlock for some people. Like, I don't even think it's Morpho, because we've seen all different shapes and sizes get through it, which makes it, in my opinion, like a really good problem, because it seems to be leveling out.
It's just how you climb the boulder, how you read the boulder.
For sure.
More the dynamic climbers might try the jump that's not really helping people, especially at the start jump. And then the more technical climbers would go a bit slower,
Yeah.
more weight through the foot, dropping those heels.
Well, I'm super interested to see how Elias gets on with this. He's what I would probably say is one of the more stronger climbers. So let's see how he gets on the start of this. Will he go for the more dynamic approach that we were just talking about?
On female one, we've got Livy Gent, her first JBBCs.
Yeah, nice. And then Louis just finishing up his comp here over on M4. Adam Snow, M2. M3, I think it's Mark Scanlon. Yeah. So everyone's out. People
You're really good at keeping track of everyone's names.
trying to. Let's see if Jess can get established on the top of this F2, because the top of this is supposed to be really, really crowd pleasing.
She's definitely someone I'd expect to go for the toe hook instead of the heel hook. Quite a flexible climber.
Yeah. Tipper making short work of that start on F4. She's just got to read the foot kick now to get across onto this red volume. Yeah, it's interesting. They've put on this extra chip to sort of help on F4 generate some momentum, but I think a lot of people are reading it as that's the foothold you have to drive up off. So they giveth and they taketh. So we're getting we're already halfway through the comp now in terms of entrance. So stick with us. This round is going quickly. We're going to start to get a better idea as to what you're going to need to qualify for the final. Probably in the next 2 or 3 people it will become clear. But at the moment we've only seen one top in the women's round, which is the last rotation on F1. In the men's, we've seen a top on everything apart from M4. So quite a stern round for these guys so far. F1 again, I think we're going to see a top by Livy here. Oh no, just dry firing off the crimp. No, I know. Hannah also getting stuck in. Nicely done here. She's secured zone and she's looking in a good position. She's got good amount of weight through her feet. Come on, heels down, that's it. Turn that palm. Oh no. And Elias in. Oh, just missed timing that. Figured it out. Good to see Elias climbing well here. He's based down in the London scene and really, really consistent at making finals down there. So it's nice to see him transferring that through onto the national stage.
Yeah, it's a good job you know that, because he hasn't told me where he's travelled from, and he says he trains everywhere.
Yeah, he's mad about comps. He is obsessed with them. So, yeah, pleased for him. Jess also figure out the toe and foot plant, but then just not quite knowing what to do once she's done that. So she's still got over a minute to see if she can figure it out. Louis also in a world of pain on this fourth boulder. Not his jam, I think. nothing really to hold on to on those holds. You just got to press them out. Here goes Elias, up high again. Yeah, good top from Elias. Amazing effort from him.
Really strong there.
Yeah.
Just confident movement.
Yeah, just absolutely smashed through for it. We've also got Libby, yeah.
Looking very good.
No!
I've jinxed her that time.
You jinxed her, boom.
We're even now.
Yeah, that's it, one apiece. But yeah, she's still got 20 seconds. She might be able to squeeze it in that time if she's quick.
I'd be surprised, but
Jess might get zone if she can speed up and hold this transfer through. That's the beefy part.
that release of the toe hook's really difficult.
Yeah.
Because you're coming in and you're compressing two holds very close together, which is difficult for the climbers.
Yeah, for sure. So that's the end of that rotation. Elias, the only person to top on that rotation, so super impressive. Now we're going to welcome international competitor in the men's. We've got Jack Birmingham, who's moved over to the UK. He climbs down in the London area, and he's come over essentially just to train to get better at comps. So amazing. And then we've got Maya Patel on her first boulder. So everybody is out.
Jack was a very vocal climber in qualification yesterday. Very happy when he gets to the top of a boulder.
Nice. That's what you want. Passion. I like it. That's what I like people who are like really passionate. I think it's cool. So Ember pulling onto her second one, and over on the far right we've got Fred getting stuck straight into these volumes. Seems to be fitting into that position really nicely. Really strong, getting transferred across, driving through the feet. Slow and steady.
That's a really good first effort there from Fred.
Yeah. Just listening to the crowd behind us, leaving, somebody said. So I think you were right.
Oh, get in.
Either that or they don't know and they're saying leaving as well.
Well,
But yeah, he's up high in the groove and just not quite transferring around on
he
the
was
foot.
trying it there, how the setters intended it, going over right hand to press out from that volume.
Leaving it all on the wall.
Said that one, haven't you already?
Here goes Raj.
Ember getting up close to the zone now.
Yeah, she looks super strong through there. Really confident. She came out and moving so well. We could see our first competitor getting established on this top section. This is the bit we all want to see. No! But first effort, I think. So 3:07 left.
Maya said during lockdown to stay motivated she did pull-ups, which is
Nice.
a nice way to stay motivated, some would say.
The Dmitry Sharafutinov approach, just like bash out 1,000 reps a day. I like it. So Leven pulling on here, getting stuck in on the crimps. Nicely done. Now, he's one of the taller competitors, so he's really got to be super flexible to transfer around. Maybe he could consider tagging in that black volume. Yeah, he's looking for it. Come on, buddy. Yes, there it is. Nicely done. Think we're going to see a top here, hopefully. Yeah, good work from him. Super strong.
You really have to be really calm at the top of those boulders,
Yeah,
just to get in nicely and get the match in.
that's it. And Fred facing out on this problem, trying a different approach.
I did say that might happen.
You did.
Not to you guys, but
Ember again, absolutely crushing this toe hook foot plant, and seems to have plenty in the tank. You told me she's a route climber, right?
yeah. But she also does do boulders. She trains at RAP though.
There you go. So
So
she's
got the long walls.
plenty in the tank here. She's not going to get tired. Yeah, there you go. Transfer. Come on, stick with it. Maya Patel as well. Just that left foothold we were told is really terrible, and she's just slipping off it. Raj as well, not having fun on the paddle. There's a lot to keep track of, isn't there, Monty?
Yeah, it's quite difficult.
Yeah.
This female 3 is starting to look quite a challenge. Everyone seems to be struggling with quite a lot of the moves on the route.
Yeah, here we go.
Looking before, I thought it might be the most accessible one, but proved wrong.
Fred making short work on M4. Nice, Ember back on. Super tenacious climbing through there, because that move must be sapping her every time.
Yeah, having to compress between those two holds really just digs into those shoulders.
Yeah, just missing the foot plant. Here we go. Come on, Raj. Jack Birmingham as well. Nah, not quite figuring it out.
I thought the commentator was saying Bellingham yesterday.
Birmingham.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought it was going Bellingham, but not a footballer.
Yeah, not. So we've got Will Buck, seasoned competitor here at the BBCs. He's done stacks of these, so see how he gets on. And Laura Munro. And then Elias, obviously topping M1 and now joining his second climb. Also got Livy back out. Jessica, Adam Snow, Hannah Hunt, Mark Scanlon. Yeah.
Me and Will would get on well. He loves to lank things, so he has said he's 7'2" though, which I have to disagree with.
Yeah. Also controversially not wearing the right vest, so
Oh, indeed.
I don't know whether anybody's going to have beef with him on that.
At least he's got his number on.
This is true. Here he goes. Nicely done through that first slab.
Really interesting, the need for calf flexibility to really drop those heels on men's one.
Yeah. Elias also, alongside Livy, doing really well on their second boulders. Here goes Elias, come on, get in that groove. Press it out. Come on, bud. Nice. I think that's 3:30, so probably a good flash go there. Mark Scanlon just not quite figuring out what to do, taking a big ride off the M4. That's the only boulder in the men's comp we've not seen a top of just yet.
It's looking really hard. It doesn't ease up towards the top as well. It's hard all the way through.
I think when you look at it in comparison to the rest of the gym, it's the shortest section of wall, so it's obviously packing a huge amount into a small area.
And you just have to fight all the time to stay on the wall,
Yeah.
which is always difficult.
Yeah.
And as the last boulder in the round as well, so your energy's already been drained.
Livy here is absolutely cruising through the second section. Needs to get that foot plant. Really, everyone who's got up there has really struggled. There seems to be two different parts. You either struggle with the first foot step up, or then you struggle getting your right foot out on the foot plant. Just getting her crimp on that third boulder. Really, really poor crimps, and you've got to get your foot right.
For seasoned climbers, that zone hold on female 3, you might think it's one of the big juggy ones, but it's actually a really slopey, really round hold. So you're not going to be just jumping to that one.
Yeah. Adam Snow just unlucky in that paddle move, no text. See how he gets on the beefy top section. Elias also on, Livy back on, and Mark Scanlon also pressing through on M4. Come on, guys.
Livy's up to the zone on female 2 as well.
Come on. Mark Scanlon here. Can we see the first top potentially on this boulder? looking super gassed out. Come on. Come on, Mark. Ali. Oh, no. So close.
Trying to go a bit more statically, no double dyno, just no 1-2.
Yeah, it looks good knowledge,
Straight
in
to it.
fairness. It looks like good knowledge.
Laura getting very close to this mint one.
Yeah, she's staring down the barrel of that last hold. She can keep it together now. The foot's so poor. Oh, it's so tricky.
Just needed her hips in slightly more for to keep balanced.
Here we go. Olivia and Elias, they've got the bit between their teeth after topping that first boulder, so they know if they can get another top here, they'd be in with a good shot. It's got to be sapping him though, because it is seriously core intensive. Yes, he's in. Come on, Elias. Sort your feet out. There you go. Come on, bud. Yeah, nicely done. Yeah, good work from him. That's a top on the first two.
We've seen different climbers use different feet for the last match. Some people have it on the zone, some people have it on the other crimp, some people have it in the dish. So it's interesting, they all have positions to be balanced from.
Yeah, but however you do it, you've definitely got to get that left foot up somehow, and that seems to be the challenging bit. So, fresh rotation again. We've got Izzy Bridgens coming out to join the comp, and Nathan Whaley.
Izzy Bridgens has been competing at GB junior comps throughout the year in like Kerno and Zelina and all over the place.
Yeah.
She's also written her sheet in a lovely red pen, which is a nice change from the boring black colour.
Marking her own homework in red. Yeah, nice. So we've got Raj on his final climb alongside Amy. See how these guys get on. Mark Scanlon got super close to the first top on M4.
Nathan, one of the first climbers I've ever a mantle and guppies. A mantle and me do not go well together.
Yeah, I can see that. Yeah. Jack Birmingham on his second climb. Leven as well. Super impressive. Absolutely crushing through. Here we go, Izzy. Super confident through there.
Izzy loves a slab.
Oh no! She was so cool through that section.
Sometimes just taking a breath and relaxing in those moments can help.
Yeah, Maya Patel as well. Absolutely crushing through this section. Super strong. Will she unlock this? Step through. Step across, sorry. Come on. Got to be confident. Ah, yeah, that's it. I'm not sure if that was as hard as the route setters thought it was going to be, that step across. But it looks really, really difficult because that last blue vertical hold is terrible.
Yeah, you're going to really struggle to get the foot across and be able to hold the zones. You might have to press it out, which again is difficult without having the foot across.
Yeah, Leven making short work of the paddle. Izzy again just getting frustrated, dropping off the top of that one. A lot to keep track of. Got Jack pulling back on. Got Ember coming back in for her third climb. See how we go.
Still only one top in the female round.
Yeah.
Quite a few people very close on female one.
We've got two tops on F1 now.
Have we?
Yeah,
Oh.
2 tops. But yeah, it is the only climb to have been done for sure. Tough round. Nathan Whaley not having the best time with the start of this. Figuring out, as we said before, it doesn't seem to matter what shape or size you are. This first one seems to be levelling people out.
Ember just struggling to keep the left foot engaged on that move out right to the Gaston.
Yeah, tricky one. As we said before, those holds, the hand holds are terrible, but the foot holds are quite good, so it's just a case of figuring out the body position to transfer across.
1 minute 40 to go.
In-house commentator George just giving us the time check there, 1:40. So still time for these guys to unlock it.
So, come on.
Leven's absolutely crushing through M3, that paddle. He's done it about 4 or 5 times now. Same with Amy, she's getting stuck into this top section. Really, really tricky.
Those no-text holds actually get you quite pumped. They really work the forearms because you're having to really grip quite hard.
Yeah.
Compared to just a normal friction hold.
Ember here looking much more comfortable than previous attempts. This left foot is terrible though, so she's got to really, really push through, get the weight onto the left foot. Izzy getting a cheeky top on F1 there. Awesome effort from her. Maya also straight back in, holding this rotation. Really impressive from everybody here, putting a lot of attempts in on all of these climbs.
Jack's just got a bit of blood on his knee, which is being asked to tape up when he goes back in. You're not allowed to bleed on the holds or the wall. They need to be dealt with, and that does come out of your own time if it's during your climb and rotation.
So that's the end of that one. We're going to welcome now a new native to these parts, Willow Petrobelli, and Finn Jackson. Will Buck coming back in, Laura Monroe, and so far out in the lead in this competition in the men's category, Elias is the only guy to have done 2 climbs in the round, so he's got M3 and M4 still to go at. So if he can get another top here, I think he's going to put himself in with a really, really good shout of finals.
Yeah, we're starting to find out what you need to get into finals.
Yeah, you've only got 4 guys and girls left to come out, so it's starting to take shape results wise. We will get some provisionals for you up on the screen at some point, but
you can check out the live scores on ycsresults.com as well, .co.uk actually.
Nice.
Finn Jackson on men's 1 has been competing with the GB Junior team again this year, and made finals in the European Youth Cup in Zelina for lead.
So he's not too shabby then.
Nah, not too bad.
Yeah. Willow, meanwhile on F1, she's been nursing, I think, a back injury, she was telling me the other day. So hopefully that's not going to flare up and she can have a good burn through this semi-final round. Elias has stuck the paddle. Here we go.
So Willow said she was fighting through a bit of pain through qualies, and Finn looks really strong during qualies, topping some ones very quickly, which other people were really struggling on.
Elias though, absolute casual through here, seems to have time, but now we're in the meaty bit. He's got to get across. Come on, Elias. Come on, buddy. There you go. Super, super powerful, that boulder. The head wall's not that overhanging, but it feels so steep because those handholds are absolutely terrible, and you've got a tiny little pebble foothold to try and drive off.
That is where you've got to really dig into the friction that the ones on that route that do have friction have.
Yeah, and obviously coming, as we've said before, coming from complete no-text paddle section through to texture, really difficult for the skin. You don't know whether to put too much or too little chalk on.
It's looking like people are managing to get by using chalk, and then the people without lead chalk buckets are struggling. Chalk bags are struggling a little bit at the end.
Yeah, Jess doing well here on F4. We've only seen one person get the zone so far, I believe, Carmel Moran. Excellent effort from her, but then just gassing out on the top. Adam Snow getting the old face out. Seems to be potentially easier to get on board, but then this next section where you have to rotate round with terrible feet and terrible hands, potentially not the way forward.
Willow struggled to stay motivated during lockdown, so resorted to running around in circles in her garden every day.
Definition of insanity.
Yeah.
Will Buck, just slipping off those crimps there.
That heel hook was really locking him in there, almost too much.
Laura Monroe looking in cruise control here. She's going straight through, but she's got to hold this unwind, which she does. Looking chill so far. Got to get that step across. Really want to see someone get stuck into the second part of this boulder. Elias also getting high. No, trying to skip out that last powerful move. Unfortunately not working.
Adam Snow on men's 4 is trying to start the other way round again.
Yeah.
We saw in, I believe it was the Olympics, there was a boulder like this where the route setters were intending people to start facing outwards and ended up being a lot easier to start inwards. But these boulders always test the athletes which way they want to go.
Yeah, for sure. Livy putting a good shift in on this F3, but just not quite figuring out the sequence. A lot of people are trying to go to the vertical yellow crimp first before the zone hold, but I think the techers, we've been told, that is the much harder way to go.
I think it depends on your height as well. If you can reach that left yellow crimp
Early,
easily with your height and can really pull off it, it will help.
Cool. We've got Laura up, first female competitor to get up into this top head wall section. Got 6 seconds left, so she's got to be quick. She's got to go now. I'm giving that. Amazing.
Definitely catches it in time. And didn't face outwards, so the route setters have been proven wrong.
Maybe she does look like one of the taller competitors, so maybe that's going to be a help for her, but that's awesome. So we've seen the first top of F2, and that's out of the competition so far, we've only seen tops on F1 and F2. So it's a stern round in the women's competition.
Yeah, it's looking like 1 or 2 tops will definitely get you through to finals.
Yeah, Jack Birmingham here, absolutely smashing through the paddle, immediately through. He needs to keep it together now. See if he can get a top. Nicely done. Izzy got a top on the slab, so she'll be looking to continue this round, getting another top. She'll obviously be aware that Laura got a top on the last rotation, you would think, so she knows now that it can be done. That's always a confidence builder, I think.
On men's 1 we have Ian Davis from Birmingham, and on female 1 we have Louise Flockhart, a natural competitor.
Yeah, Maya Patel climbing really well on this third boulder in cruise control, crushing through these crimps. She just needs to figure out that palm down. Oh, she's going for the higher method. Might not be the one. She's not seen the right palm, so she's got to transfer the feet.
Louise was hoping for some crack climbing, some inverting and some strange body positions today.
Oh, wow.
We haven't got any crack climbs, but I think there are some strange body positions.
Yeah. Ember's had a really positive round. Maybe not got the tops that she was hoping for, but she's climbed really, really well throughout, securing the zone
really
there.
solid there.
Yeah, one of the only people to get zone on that fourth climb, so good effort from her, keeping her head together all the way through.
Really having to drive through that left Rock City red hold to get up to that zone.
Yeah. And we got a top. Thank you, George. Yeah, giving us the energy there. She's a quick top for her, I think. Second try. Nathan Whaley getting stuck into the crimp groove of doom. Nicely done. Can he get the left foot up? That is some really good techers from him. Oh, watch your out of bounds there, Nathan. I think they're going to pull him off that.
Unfortunately, he's touched the blue tape there, which means you have to be cooled down.
Yeah, so That's unfortunate for him, but he's still got 2 minutes left, so I think he'll feel confident. Let's see if Maya can read this palm down yet.
Most of the time you're not allowed to touch or go past the blue tape, or it's usually black tape, but due to the colours of the wall here at last Sundance, they decided to go for blue.
Maya Patel is the first person here to get up high on F3. She needs to get that foot up. Come on, Maya. Come on. Here we go. Yeah. Awesome work from her.
Really nice. Looking very controlled through the top section there.
Yeah, she kept it together really well. Yeah, good work from her. She didn't quite figure out the palm down sequence on her first few goes, so good effort from her keeping it together. Meanwhile, Jack Birmingham staring down the barrel. Just gassing out.
That's the classic. You just have to improve on every attempt, or on most of your attempts, and that's how you can become a good competition climber.
For sure. Here we go. So we got Izzy has made consistent progress on this as she's getting through to the sort of awkward step right section. Hopefully she can unlock it this go. She's got a minute left. Ian on his first boulder not quite getting over to the zone. Now Nathan had a really impressive go last time, so must have taken a lot out of him. Here goes Izzy. She's going to give it the face out, I reckon. Is she? Come on, Izzy. Clock's running down, 35 seconds.
She's got loads of time to do this section though.
Yeah, she just needs to keep it together. There you go. It is going to sap the time trying to figure out all the positions, but she's in for the face forward, staring down that jug. Nicely done. So, back-to-back tops there. That's really impressive.
Again, another person facing inwards, using their flexibility to get your foot high.
Yeah. So the competition's really come alive this rotation. We've now seen a top on F3. We've seen a top on F2. The only boulders that haven't been done now are F4 and M4. So fingers crossed that starts to get unlocked. Yeah,
you might have noticed the athletes have 15 seconds after the end of the 5 minutes to either leave the mats or get onto the mats, just so you can get to your boulder without losing time.
Yeah, so we've got some real pros coming out now. Aidan Dunn, super experienced GB team climber. Edie Carr as well, so looking super relaxed. Straight out, no running, brushing the holds. They know what to do. Meanwhile, on the complete opposite end, we've got Elias and Livy on their final climbs. They know if they finish strong, they're going to give themselves a good shot. And Finn Jackson, Willow back in as well. Willow got a top on the first, I believe, so she'll be looking to follow that up.
Eden has said he's done BBC maybe 7 times, which is a huge amount.
Yeah, Edie making short work of this one so far, getting transitioned across into zone. Finn absolutely crushing these crimps through the steep section. That was really impressive. And Livy on the far right, she's figured it out. Come on, get the momentum. There you go, nicely done. She's going to lock it down to that zone. Come on, Livy.
Really quick to figure out this whole section.
Yeah, you gotta be super tight through this. This is really powerful now. Maybe we're going to see the first top here. Can she see that heel hook? She's missed it.
Yeah. There was a small red pebble there where the route setters intend you to get your heel, or you could probably put your toe as in, not a toe hook, but your toe
heel
on
hook.
it.
Yeah, heel. And it's actually a really good heel when you find it. Meanwhile, Willow is getting stuck into this groove section. Securing zone. Aiden's also on board, trying to figure out what to do with the foot sequence here.
Haven't seen a top on men's one for quite a while. It's really perplexed some of the recent athletes.
Not for Aiden though, he's absolutely cruised through there. Really difficult foot sequence, but now he's got to stay calm for this last move. Yeah, it's not easy, that move.
Willow looking in a bit of pain there from her injury as she was climbing that.
having to push up through those volumes must not be doing her back any favours. Laura Monroe, Finn in this groove. Oof, so tenuous. You've got to be really quick to get all the way over with your feet, otherwise you're just in a world of pain with trying to pull through these terrible crimps.
Will has already called it on men's 3 with the no texture holds. It's an interesting decision.
Yeah, I guess he's saving.
I don't know whether I saw him get the zone.
Yeah, not sure. Not sure.
I don't think saving skin's the right word because there's no texture on those holds.
I guess
energy, maybe.
Energy, I reckon, because he knows that nobody's topped it probably.
We had Finn top it right at the start.
Well, it's so far away from his rotation, he probably doesn't know which one that was. But yeah, just the one top so far, which was our first competitor, Finn, coming out and laying down a huge marker on that.
125 on the clock.
Willow back on. Always hard when you're competing with an injury. The frustration's there. You don't know how hard you can push or pull, but she's giving it everything. Lining up the foot. Come on. Oh no. She's just wincing and saying ow as she lands on the mat. So I think we know the reason why she's not fully committing to that move.
On men's 4, you can really see how hard everyone's having to try just to do one move, 2 moves, even get in the start.
Yeah. Finn's in, tagging in the zone. Got Laura Monroe as well, getting established on zone. Aiden's back on, Edie, all going off. Come on Finn. Oh, unlucky. Figured out the rotation much better, but just pinging off. He's going to give it call it a day. Meanwhile, Aiden is going to need a top here to really give himself the best shot.
Edie, I think, might have left it a little bit too late to start. Yeah.
These guys are pros, though. They're going to know that it's a hard round probably, and that 1 or 2 tops can get you through. So I'm sure they'll reset and regroup. Willow super unlucky on the buzzer there. Really frustrated. But yeah, we're welcoming some of the big guns out now. We've got Sam Butterworth and Zoe Petermans qualifying in 2nd place. Now these guys are really experienced comp climbers, so straight to the brushes, straight to observation, then they'll get on, give it a scrub and give it a go. And we've got Louise and Ian on their 2nd boulders, Izzy and Nathan back out, and Maya and Jack Birmingham. On the previous rotation, Maya got the first and only top we've seen on F3, so I'm sure she'll be looking to continue that on the 4th one. She's a really strong group climber as well, so I'm sure she's got plenty of energy. Ethan absolutely crushing the first paddle dyno. Come on, Nath. Here we go. He's looking strong so far. Got to go again all the way to this last yellow one. Just not quite enough gas.
Really having to fight with the holds there to stay on.
Yeah. Izzy, though, in cruise control. Looks like she's in a happy place with that left-hand crimp. She's got to figure out that right-hand palm. There it is. Come on, Izzy. Lock it down. No, just not getting the shoulder engagement. She's out of there.
Louise looking good on female 2.
Yeah, that is
into
super
the palm.
impressive. Really, really smooth through there. She's got to find that thumb, that's it. And then slow release with the left foot. That's it, nicely done. Leave a bit of room, maybe. Come on, here we go. Sam Butterworth not enjoying that slab. Zoe getting stuck in as well. Here we go, Louise, come on. Take your time. That is the most casual top we've seen of F2.
Making that last move look so easy.
Yeah,
really relaxed.
Ian Davis also getting into the groove for the first time. Strong work from him, but just not quite getting the right position. You can see him there rubbing his back. Meanwhile, Zoe Petermans is, I think this is maybe her first or second try. She's been taking it super slow and steady. Very impressive, trying to get as much weight through that right foot, but you can see her there trying to milk that foot and getting nothing from it. So she's got to be slow now. No, just skidding off. Jack Birmingham all the way over on the end, trying to unlock this M4. M4 and F4, still seeing no tops on those.
Is he doing a tiny bit better on the female 3 climb there?
Yeah. Sam Butterworth's on board for zone. Nathan Whaley eyeing up these last holds. Had a good first burn. Come on, Nathan.
Come on, Nathan.
Ah, Nucky. Come on, Nathan. There he goes. Oh, that last yellow hold. It's so big, but the bit you want to be holding is like right up towards the middle of the hold. The bottom end, it's just so flared and rounded that it's so much more difficult to hold.
Yeah, totally. Zoe said she's very well-rounded and has got no major strengths. Good in all departments.
Well, she's in the right place then, because she's going to be tested in every single way possible.
Come on, Zoe.
Come on, Zoe. She had a really good burn earlier and maybe just hesitated a little bit trying to chalk up in this position, which I think you just need to be a bit more confident and move quite quickly through, because the foot's so bad. You want to chalk up because the holds are so small, but actually it's going to potentially do you no favours. Here we go. Come on, Zoe. You've got to be strong now. Slow, slow, slow. You got it.
Really having to pull with the toe on
Come
the
on.
right foot.
Here goes Izzy as well. So Izzy and Zoe. Nicely done from Zoe Petermans.
Zoe there getting her left foot up before going into the top hold, which we've seen a couple people fall on going to that last move.
She was just so calm and relaxed, which I think in a slab obviously is what you need to be. You need to be keeping your regular breathing and just staying relaxed.
Yeah.
Here goes Sam as well. This M1, absolutely no gimmies in this men's round.
He almost looked like he had his heel almost too locked in and his left foot, so he couldn't move off of that.
So we've seen, our second place from the, qualifying rounds not getting a top on M1, so it's tricky. But we're going to welcome our final competitors to this semi-final round, the people who won the qualifiers, Thea Cameron and Luca Martins. Luca put on a great show yesterday, absolutely smashing through those quali boulders.
5 very clean tops there.
Yeah, same with Thea, she was pretty dominant in her round.
Luca's made European Youth Cup finals this year,
Yeah.
which is a big achievement.
Yeah, it'd be interesting to see how Luca gets on this round, because the boulders are in every round challenging in different ways. Has he ever qualified in this kind of position before in an adult event? I'm not sure, but let's see how he gets on. Fingers crossed for Luca.
Yeah, the boulders are very much different here to what they were in qualies. You're not seeing anything that's any way similar to the qualies boulders.
Yeah, Aidan Dunn also straight into this second M2. He knows he's going to need a top and absolutely crushing it so far. Really, really impressive flash from him there. Yeah, Edie Carr as well. Will Buck he left the last rotation super early, maybe strategic to try and save himself for this one where it's going to be really, really powerful. And it seems to be paying dividends because he's getting towards the zone hold. Oh no, he's out. Edie Carr, slow and steady, is definitely winning the race here. She looks pretty casual. She's just got to figure out that left foot back. There it is. Come on. And now she can lean across. There's a screw-on undercut to this big blue blob, which they're all aiming for. There it is. And now she can give it the final pop to the victory jug. Oosh! There it is. Impressive from Edie Carr. Willow back onto her third climb. Hopefully she's going to enjoyed this one a little bit more. She was really frustrated on her second climb. Back just giving her a little bit of problems. Luca not quite finding the right sequence yet.
Both Thea and Luca have said they're here to win. So
wow,
got some big competitors here.
In it to win it. Yeah, good work from him though, figuring out how to get across here. Luca is a really, really tall competitor, so it's impressive to see him contorting himself into those spaces.
Yeah, a 6'2".
Yeah. Here goes Luca now. Can he figure out what to do on this top section? It's a really unusual move. Yeah, you've got to be pretty quick with catching up with your body.
Yeah, he had a bit of a left foot slip there.
Yeah.
Which
I think
he wasn't slightly ready.
Yeah, he wasn't engaging enough on that foot, but I'm sure he'll fix it on the next go.
Finn Jackson just struggling with the no text hold paddle.
Yeah, I feel his pain. Willow looking pretty casual through these first crimps, but not able to engage with the feet. She really just needs to be a bit more confident, and there you go. Push, push, push. Come on, Willow. Thea's up high on these terrible little pebbles in the black strip. There you go. Come on, Willow. Transfer the feet. That's it. Change to a palm. Come on. Oh, no. That foothold is terrible. And looks like her back is just agony for her.
Will Buck really fighting on the men's four boulder.
Yeah.
Just struggling to match the undercling there.
Finn also up high on here. Got to be proactive with the feet. I think he's gone a bit early with the hand. Needs to get those feet up first. Here goes Luca. See if he can learn anything from the last attempt. Just not quite figuring it out. So I'd say good job from the route setters so far. I mean, we've not seen tops on F4 and M4, but we've still got a lot of people to go through them. But what's nice is seeing a variety of, like, the people you don't expect to get tops getting tops.
Yeah, there's been a very big split of tops this round. Some people you wouldn't expect to top have topped, and some people you would expect to top haven't topped.
Yeah.
But they've still got boulders to go and can bring it back on those boulders.
For sure. Here goes Luca again. 15 seconds up high. Will Buck as well. Come on, Luca. You need to get this top now. Put yourself in with a really good shot of finals. He's got to go now. He's going to be frustrated with that.
He needed to bring his left foot down and go quickly, like a left foot down and then the right foot into the crimp.
I think he was stuck between two options. Like we saw Elias earlier in the round just absolutely wang it and double dyno to the last hold, ignoring the feet till the last moment. And then we've seen others do it more slow and steady with the feet. Good boulder.
Very, very good.
So different this year. Once the semi-finals finishes, I think the crowd can climb on these semi-final boulders.
So anyone down in Leeds can come down and try these semi-final boulders.
Yeah. I mean, you could travel from elsewhere, but you probably wouldn't make it.
Yeah. Well, you've got, I think, 3 hours maybe.
Yeah. Which is cool. I mean, these boulders are pretty special. I mean, in any normal comp, these would be finals. This selection of grips that we've got is pretty special.
You sometimes often find the semis round is actually set harder than the finals round because you have to make a bigger split because you've got your 20 strongest athletes then trying to split them.
Yeah. Sam Butterworth absolutely crushing these crimps and very impressive. Ian Davis as well got up really high in his first go. Zoe in cruise control. She's chilling on that really terrible blue hold. This is where it really comes a bit quicker, the round, because these are the strongest qualifiers, so you're expecting them to come out and do these boulders quickly.
Yeah, the tops are flying in now.
And they need to, because not everybody is doing the earlier boulders. So Sam Butterworth, Aidan Dunn, both not doing the first climb, so they had to come out and do the second one, so it's cool to see them. Louise Folkhart had a really good burn there on that F3. She just didn't quite figure out that right-hand palm, and it seems it's quite hidden actually, because that hold's so massive and the top of it hasn't got as much chalk on as you might expect for a palm down, so they're not quite reading it the same.
Yeah, and I think because the left crimp's so good, you're thinking you can pull through it as much to do the next move,
Yeah.
whereas you do need the right palm to get through.
Yeah. Zoe's back on for her second climb now. Zoe's obviously one of the shorter competitors, but she's offsetting that height really well by just being so much stronger than the boulder and able to hold all of these holds really easily.
Specifically 159.5 centimetres.
Data. I'm all about that data. Is it in a spreadsheet?
No, but
Talk to me when it's in
on
a
a piece of
spreadsheet.
paper, we can file it away.
Yeah, I'm glad you're in charge of that. Philo facts of information there. Right. Lots still going on. So Ian and Louise have been making good progress on their boulders, getting super high. Zoe almost transferring across into that final groove. Seems to be the way that once you get in the groove, you do the boulder, but getting into it is really difficult. M4 we have not seen a top of, and likewise F4. So
Ian giving men's 3 a really good burn here, looking pretty strong.
yeah, really impressive from him. Just needs to get that left foot bent and push over so he can get that left hand undercut.
His arms weren't shaking as much as some of the other athletes, so I think he can definitely do that one.
Yeah, for sure. It's just whether he can do it in the time. 1 minute 30 left, and that boulder is sappy. You're doing a lot of stuff on the arms with very poor feet. Well, very awkward feet, rather. Here goes Louise.
Louise really cruising through those first couple of moves.
Yeah, and the first couple of boulders. She's got 2 tops, I believe, so far. So, see how she goes now. Still not reading that palm down. I can see, yeah, now she's got it. Oh. Zoe's in as well.
Is he into the zone on female 4 as well?
Yeah, come on, we need to see a top of this. Zoe is in a really good position now. I think we're going to see hopefully a top for her. She's got her right foot on a really good portion. Needs to bump that left foot in. There it is. I think we're going to see the victory jug dunk. Oosh! Slam dunk. Nice work from Zoe.
Really nice at the top.
Calming herself down.
Izzy Bridgens, meantime, in female 4, trying to get a heel up to do the move from the zone. The route setters did say they tried that and they got it a couple of times,
Yeah.
but just throwing for it, they found easier.
Yeah. And Louise here, she's learning every single time and looking so much better.
That's going to be her last attempt, unfortunately.
For sure, just out of time, 10 seconds left. I think everyone's going to call it. Oof, it is kicking off. So M1, F1 boulders are now closed. All competitors have been through. We've got our final competitors on F2 and M2, so it's coming towards the end. We're going to get an idea. What's the web address to find the results, Monty?
YCSresults.co.uk.
Banging. Head on there because we don't have a clue what's going on.
Make sure you go to the BBC's bit, British Bouldering Championships 2024.
For sure. So yeah, Luca has forgotten his score sheet. That is suboptimal. But I think someone else is going to get his score sheet for him. Yeah, that's not the one.
Often you're so focused on the climbing and everything that you just forget the little things.
It goes in your chalk bag. You just put it in your chalk bag.
It's quite a high pressure situation.
Je
they're
ne
in.
comprends pas. I don't understand. How can you forget your score sheet? Anyway.
More French.
Yeah. So anyway, Luca's on. Really awkward start. The first handhold and foothold, which has got 3 points start on it, is really bad. Here goes Aidan, looking casual on through this boulder so far.
Trying to go straight to the top from the first yellow hold there.
Yeah. But he had time. He explored that second yellow hold and decided, now I'm just going to lob it for the top. And of course, that one, as we know, is no text and nicht sehr gute. There's some German for you. I'm just going to mix it up.
Yeah, that's something you can often do on your first and second attempt, is explore different beaters on the wall.
Yeah. Luca, though, smashing through, second attempt, keeping pace with the other guys.
Cruising that top section there.
Thea as well, straight into the groove. Really impressive from her. She's looking pretty impressive so far.
He's forgotten his scorecard again, Luca has.
Yeah.
He needs to take it away with him too.
This guy is not one with the admin. So Edie Carr trying to get across on these crimps, going for the undercut first. Yeah.
Thea with an easy top there.
Yeah, casual.
On that top section.
Really, really casual. So we've still not seen tops on F4, M4, which is unfortunate. Essentially means it's like a 3 boulder comp, right? So, you know, for the competitors, they'll know that that's not being done. So it puts the pressure on even more for those other 3 climbs in front of them.
But very much important to get the zones on that last climb.
Yeah, so we're just watching Willow here trying to get established on the zone, but she's just not reading that foot. None of them are wanting to use that core swing to get across with that left foot, which is making it so much harder.
All of the athletes have tried putting a heel in first, and then the ones who have tried to put the foot out have managed to get the zone usually. Meanwhile,
Aidan Dunn back on to M3, crushing through that paddle like it's nothing and getting stuck into these slopey section of non-holds. He's taking a time a bit more now. He does not want to tack. Nicely done, Aidan.
Really good there.
Really good. You could watch his brain working in like slow motion there. He was looking at the last holes and thinking, nah, I'm just going to go straight to the top.
He managed to keep his right hand on that yellow tutor one as he went up, which meant he was able to keep his body into the wall.
Tension because that left hand is so slopey and slippy. Yeah. Cool. So we got Edie Carr. Yeah, she's figured it out a lot better this time now. Onto the shoulder, but not engaging the double shoulder that is needed for this boulder.
Trying to match that tiny hold there.
The piano match on the non-crimp. That is
Never
not
heard
the
it
one.
called a piano match.
That's what it's called. Piano, like you finger, you know.
I just call it like a finger by finger match.
Both.
Yours is probably more exciting, but
both terms are usable. Yeah. So as we come towards the end of the comp, obviously there's less people on the wall. There's more people doing boulders, which means they get more rest, so they're out the back chilling. We saw Luca Martins come out and get a top on his second go on M2. We saw
Cameron
with
her top as well.
She just dominated that, and Aidan Dunn as well getting a top on M3. So the hardest boulders of the comp being the last ones is what we're seeing with the competitors left on. Willow getting a high foot again, as you said earlier, is possible, but not the one. And I think again it's maybe down to her back, you know, having to swing that foot across and hold the tension in that lower back. Getting that left foot is probably just really not good for her.
It'd be really interesting to see if those boulders were placed at the start of the round, whether we'd have more tops on them.
Good point, very good point. But yeah, end of the rotation again. Willow looks like she has not had fun today, which is unfortunate. But fair play for her for putting in a shift when injured. You know, that's gutsy. So we've got Sam Butterworth and Zoe Petermans about to start their third boulder, and Louise Fockworth and Ian Davis on their final boulders.
All just coming in, route reading them, giving them a brush. It's quite important to prep your boulders so you can have a really good flash attempt at them.
For sure. These guys are pros. They know exactly what their sequence of events is in terms of observation, brushing, chalking. You know, it's a fine art for them. They've done it so often.
Often you see some people maybe brush too much or too little, and it's quite hard to find that balance of
for sure
not wasting too much time, but also having a good boulder to get on and climb.
Exactly, yeah. And a lot of the time when you come out at this point in the comp, you've got to be good at reading the clues, but also trying to ignore the ones that are maybe some of the earlier competitors have got the wrong sequence on.
Yeah, people trying other methods and then other climbers trying that same method, even though they haven't seen the boulder, is really common.
Yeah. Here goes Sam Butterworth crushing through the coordination section and now getting stuck in on these terrible cheetah holds.
And that's where the problem-solving element becomes really important.
Wow, that's impressive from Sam, chalking up on those really bad holds. He's going for it. Oof. He read it slightly differently, reading it like a quick 1, 2, 3 for the top, but Aidan previously just going straight in for the smash and grab.
Yeah. These climbers have to be really confident in their abilities, so their route reading and how they want to climb the climb, because each climber has a very specific style.
Yeah, you've got to try and, if you play to your strengths. It's difficult when the boulders are designed to show your weaknesses.
Yeah.
But sometimes you hit a boulder where you're like, yes, this is my jam. Like, I'm good on shouldery crimps or paddle moves or whatever it is, and then you've got to take advantage of those moments.
Yeah, that's where you get your separation from other athletes. It's where you do well on your strengths.
For sure. Everyone needs a superpower. I mean, the people earlier who were saying in their notes about having, being consistent on every discipline. I mean, that's going to be helpful on every boulder, but sometimes you need that superpower.
Louise gave a really good go on female 4.
Yeah.
Getting the heel hook in there to move the next hold.
Come on, we might see our first top here. Whoa! Yeah, that's
a really good top there for her. Yeah. I think that might have guaranteed her finals now.
For sure. And she also did it without that left heel hook as well, which is even more impressive. We saw all the route setters trying that move to the red pinch, and it seemed to be kind of integral for that move.
Yeah.
They did make that tweak earlier, though. They moved the red hold
further away.
No, slightly closer.
Oh,
slightly closer to take a bit of the meat out of that move. So last minute tweak, maybe changing that has made the left heel totally pointless.
And also Louise is just so strong in that position.
Oh, Sam just drop it. Yeah, for sure. I mean, ultimately she was way stronger than the boulder, for sure. Yeah, Sam Butterworth just dropping that last one. He was so casual up to that point.
He's definitely got time for 1 or 2 maybe good attempts left.
Yeah, 1:45 on the clock. Zoe Petermans as well has not managed to really get as far as I'm sure she would hope on this problem, but she's so experienced. She's hopefully resetting after each go and using that, aggregating that data and improving each go.
Aggregating, that's quite a big word.
We're playing commentating Scrabble here, so if you can increase the quantity of your words and complexity, that would be great.
Yeah, I'll try to get some longer ones in.
Meanwhile, Zoe's back on. She's choosing to do that really difficult match on the tiny crimp, which is so much harder than potentially the other method. But she's done it, and now she's crushing that big purple slopey hold. But yeah, as you can see there, there's just nothing, it's not in cut, it's completely slopey. So if you haven't got a good left hand to oppose it, it makes holding the right hand even harder. So yeah.
It's a very body position dependent. Get your hands and feet and hips in the right position to be nice and solid on that position as well.
Yeah. Sam's back on for his final go now, probably 26 seconds left. Here goes Sam. Come on, buddy. Needs this top to guarantee a spot in finals. Oof. It is going to be super tight in the men's. I think currently Elias is the only guy to do 2 boulders.
Elias looks like it is.
Yeah. Oh, it's on the screen right there. Yeah, Elias. I mean, super impressive. I mean, he came out in the final third, or sort of halfway, so putting down a good marker there.
Yeah, very much these next, like Sam's going to need to get a top on men's 4.
Yeah, and Aidan Dunn probably needs a top to be sure.
Or at least a zone will definitely
a zone will do
close.
It. Yeah, with only Luca to come out after. I mean, the zone is still going to be tight. Anyway, he's not thinking about zone, he's thinking about top, isn't he, I reckon? So with M1 slab being so inconsistent with a lot of the field as to whether you get a top or not, M2 has become critical to get done, and you kind of need to do M3 because M4 hasn't been topped. Here goes Luca.
I think there will be people who make finals who have got 1 top, 4 zones, but you definitely want 2 tops to guarantee yourself a space.
For sure, and in the women's competition, 1 top at the moment is kind of good enough. But obviously, here goes Luca on the flash go. Come on, this is for finals. No.
He was so low in his left hand on the further yellow cheetah hold.
Yeah. And obviously being one of the taller competitors, he was really bunched up as well. Couldn't explode out as easily. Here we go. Edie's looking so casual through that.
Again, not using the heel hook.
Yeah,
there.
I just think with that slight tweak from the setters, that heel hook's become redundant. But yeah, from nowhere, we haven't seen a top at all on F4. Like, nobody was getting close. Now we've seen 2 back-to-back tops. That just shows kind of how the field progresses through, and those final people coming out are really a cut above.
They're the athletes you expect to be topping the harder boulders.
Yeah, absolutely.
But then you always do have your people who make a name for themselves in the semis.
For sure, yeah. So Thea and Luca still out on the mats. Aidan Dunn knows he's going to need this to stand any kind of chance of getting into the final. Obviously he doesn't know that yet. He'll have a good idea, but maybe he's thinking that flash on M2 is enough.
Lots of athletes do it in different ways. Some of them think about what they need to do. Some of them try to ignore it completely and just climb the climbs. It really depends who you are, and you can tell from the crowd reaction and everything.
Yeah, absolutely. What's your style? Do you like to think about it?
I probably do like to think about it. It probably doesn't help me the most, but I think it's quite easy to also find out just from the reaction to the crowd and from where chalk is.
For sure.
As an experienced climber, you can really notice how the scores are progressing.
Here goes Luca. Come on, Luca. Got to get this. He's got that much better that time, but just greasing off the right hand. Yeah, still time. And the fact that, like, when you unlock a sequence really early, you've already got that learned information, and the minor tweaks you need to do are just so small for the very final move.
Very often competition climbers are so good at just doing a move once and then they can always repeat the move.
Yeah.
Like, often there are times when you can't, but like this first move is being repeated so often by these climbers without any trouble anymore.
Yeah, for sure. It used to be like back in the day, a paddle move would like blow your mind, but they're training on these kind of things all the time now.
Yeah, it's just going up and up. We had facing outwards, we had the new holds, we had that jump into the iron cross move, and cartwheels even at Quiff. We had a cartwheel.
Yeah, that was dream town.
Epic.
Yeah. Anyway, all eyes on Thea as she pulls onto her third climb. She's been getting consistently high on this, but just not quite finding the right body position on the palm down section to allow her to engage to get to that last final crimp. But see how she gets on now. She looks like she's not getting enough through that left foot. Like she's engaging almost too much with the right hand and not enough with the left foot.
It always looks like she needs her right hand further out from the wall, but obviously not being on there, it might feel like it's going to slip. So.
For sure. Impressive from Luca, I have to say, to like get through to this last move pretty much every go, but he's looking a bit powered out. Oh, amazing. In a ball. Come on, Luca. You're going to need this, buddy. Come on, give it everything. Fight. Oh, no. Super frustrated because he got super high up on M1 as well. So to have two where you think, yeah, pretty close.
I don't know. It might come down to attempts as well with the finals positions. One top 4 zones and then down to attempts, I think.
For sure. And again, still no sign of M4 being topped. Aidan Dunn, obviously one of the strongest competitors in the field, not getting that, so that is surprising.
We had Jack. Jack got very close to the top, and so did I think it was Joe. Joe got quite close to the top as well.
Yeah. So we're down to Sam Butterworth and Zoe Petermans on their last boulder, and then there'll just be one more rotation. Luca Martins and Thea Cameron to close out this semi-final round. So yeah, pretty close to being complete.
I think if Zoe can make this boulder, she'll be guaranteed finals.
Yeah.
I think Sam might already be in. But it always depends. Appeals.
Yeah.
And how other climbers do and all of that.
It's close. It is close.
As long as Sam gets the zone.
Oh, but I do want to see a top.
I'd love to see a top.
Yeah, like you want all the boulders to be done.
You can have a go afterwards and show them how it's done.
Yeah, yeah. I think my days for that are done. Yeah, the level now for just everybody is incredible. It's really impressive to see how far the sport's come in such a short space of time.
You just see climbs where they put these tiny crimps on, and people these days are so strong on crimps. They have to put slopers on. They have to make these jumps and cool moves just because they can't not, otherwise it's too easy.
The only way to get the split is through more complex movement that people can fumble, essentially. You give them a line of, as you say, a line of crimps or slopey holds that they can reach statically, they're all going to do it.
From the sheets today, lots of people have just climbed so hard outside.
Yeah, here goes Zoe. She's reading the heel. Yes, nicely done. Staring down, she can get this. Nicely done from Zoe. Absolutely crushing that boulder.
The heel made that move into the red hold a lot easier.
Chill. Yeah. So I think that's definitely going to put her into finals for sure. Maybe even in first, potentially.
So we've still got Sam Butterworth out on men's 4. Just resting because it's such a powerful boulder. You really have to choose your attempts wisely.
So, Sam Butterworth, our only competitor now. Come on, pressing through these volumes. This is so tenuous on the shoulders. Got to drive up. Come on. This is the only boulder in the comp that's not been unlucked just yet. Sam's definitely capable of doing it, and he's looking fairly chill. This is a hard move. Come on, bud. We might see our top now. He knows what to do. Come on. Nicely done.
Really well done there.
Not only is that our first top, that's definitely going to get him into finals, so that's a big, big relief for him.
Really, really impressive climbing there. Looking really comfortable in all the positions.
Relief for him, relief for the route setters. All the boulders have now been done, which is exactly what we want. And, you know, you kind of want that kind of split where the very top end guys and girls are being challenged as well. So hard when you've got a diverse field like that of 20 athletes to challenge everybody. It's good to see that that really hard climb being done last.
If the route setters are aiming to just split the field, and it's done that so well here today. Lots of tops on different boulders. It's almost like the Olympics with the men's finals. Sure. There was like a top on each boulder, but only one person on some of them, and then some people topped all of them. Yeah,
makes it incredibly stressful and hard to keep track of, but does make for a good spread of results. So yeah, we're just waiting the final minute 10 seconds until the last competitors will come out, which will be Thea Cameron and Luca Martins. Now, those guys, they're seasoned, they'll know exactly what's just happened in the comp, so I'm sure Luca will be knowing he needs a top, and the same with
According to the scores on the screen, it looks like Luca might have already made it, but we are missing quite a few results still on that screen. Yeah,
for sure. The YCS.co.uk I think is more up to date with the accurate results. It's then obviously got to go through final check-offs with chief judges, etc. But gives us a good indication where things are. 27 seconds left. We can just see the people starting to come out behind us. Last rotation of climbers.
For those of you who are interested, the Youth World Championships Under-16 final has just started. So Iggy Rinaldi's out in a couple, and we've got Rafi, who's been in the UK for quite a while now, climbing as well.
Nice. So here we go, our final rotation of the semi-final round. These guys, Thea Cameron is already probably qualified, we would imagine, based on the results that haven't been updated on the screen, but they'll be coming through. Meanwhile, Luca Martin's definitely going to need another top.
maybe not another top, maybe a zone.
Yeah, for sure a zone. And obviously we've only had one top of M4, which was Sam Butterworth on the previous rotation. So pros and cons, like you'll know a lot of people haven't done it, but you know the person before you has just done it, so it's absolutely possible. And for someone like Luca, who has said that he wants to win the event, you know, this is the kind of moment where you've got to come in and really show that you can.
I think he'll be really trying to use that pressure and the expectation actually to his advantage and try and get to the top of this boulder.
Yeah, well, straight on into that anyway, and making short work of that move. Question is, can he fit in that box? He's got to transition across into that right palm. Once the feet go, here we go. Thea looking chilled on that move there.
We've found the athletes who have managed to do that move to the zone. Some of them have gone dynamically, but a lot of them have just really fought on that undercling and managed to just transition through.
Yeah, exactly. And Thea as well, absolute cruise control through here. She's reading it perfectly.
Got the heel in.
Heel and then the slam dunk. There it is. Yeah. That was an impressive round from her. Really, really impressive.
That's definitely going to put her through to finals.
For sure.
Subject to appeal.
Yeah. And also, that was quick. That was flash go, I think.
I think it might have been second or third.
Okay.
Because that first move out of the Gaston.
Yeah, it's 3 minutes, so probably right. Yeah. Yeah, those Gaston, the little Gaston explosion actually takes a couple of scalps.
Yeah, you've got to hit that black hold with two hands and really just fight for the friction.
So, all eyes on last competitor, last boulder, Luca Martins. He put in a really good fight on M3. Had a lot of goes, getting very, very high and falling off the last move. So, hopefully it hasn't taken too much out of him. He got a really good top on M2 and then frustratingly just dropped the last hold on M1. So, a bit like all the other guys, he really needs to at least get a zone or top.
Yeah, he said he likes a crimpy cross, so he's not really getting that on this boulder, but...
No, not a crimp in sight. 2 minutes left. Lots of thinking. Good to see Leeds out supporting this event. There's at least, you know, a few hundred people here at the last Sundance. Good turnout. I'm sure there'll be plenty more here for finals later. Spectators outside on the big screen as well, so if you're in Leeds and you want to come down and watch, plenty of space for you. Here we go, Luca looking a bit more secure.
You kind of jinxed in there.
Yeah, caveat that with, he was looking more secure on his hands, definitely not on his feet.
He just needed to drop his right heel slightly more just to get some more rubber on that volume.
Yeah.
It's really important though, pacing yourself on these climbs. You can't just keep going because they are so powerful.
Yeah. Like it's a short boulder which packs a huge punch. So like you're on the wall for such a long period of time, even though you're like not going anywhere.
Yeah, Luca there would probably be able to jump and touch the top holds.
Yeah.
So obviously you can't do that in the comp, but
yeah, for sure. Here we go again. Back on into the palms.
Really see those shoulder muscles engaging, the biceps, the triceps.
Yeah, got to transfer over as much as you can off that left hold, which is better, onto the right, but that means, as you can see there, struggling to get the feet in play. Being so tall, he's calling it a day. Yeah. So, that's the end of the semi-final round. The supercomputer's got to do all its job and get all those results finalised, but yeah, I think overall, what were your thoughts on that round?
I think the setting was really good. We got a top on every boulder, quite a big split throughout the athletes, and it really challenged different parts of the climbing.
Yeah.
Like that first boulder, the slab for the women and the men, there was tops from all through the field, and then more powerful throughout the.
No, it's it's the hardest job there is, and I don't think people understand like how difficult route setting for a competition is. You're trying to split such a wide field of people that are so strong at every single different thing, and that is, yeah, impossible. And so kudos to them. Big shout out to the route setting team. I'm sure they've got a bunch of stuff lined up for finals, but we're going to wrap up this round at semi-finals. The results will come up on screen shortly, and join us later. We'll be talking for prolonged periods of time about climbing in the finals, British Bouldering Championships. If you're in Leeds, come down, check out the boulders over the next few hours, and also there's plenty of free spectating seats outside. Yeah, and it's a nice day, I believe.
Not raining. It was raining down in London yesterday. Hailing.
It's always raining down in London. Anyway, thanks for joining us, and we'll catch you all later.
Thanks.
I think I joined the BMC when I was about 11 years old, so I could compete for, or try to compete for GB and enter all my regional competitions that I was so excited to do. I also think the BMC could improve EDI by making climbing more accessible for all sorts of people, for example, families with low income or people in the city who just don't have access to the outdoors or don't see it as a place for them. The BMC ensures that we can all have access to climbing crags across the country and that everyone using them is looking after them. They're clean and the rock is in good quality, so that's really important to me as an outdoor climber. And then for competitions, they ensure that I can get away and actually be insured whilst I'm competing, which not many insurance companies actually do, so that's really important to me. And lastly, they are really keen on promoting diversity within climbing, and it's so nice to work with an organisation that shares the same passions as I do and has the same ideals and visions for where climbing should be. I hope as a BMC ambassador I'm able to be a role model for those people who might not see themselves looking the same as other people within the climbing community. So hopefully I'll be able to reach a new audience for the BMC, but also speak to their climbers who've been going for a long time. I think climbing has changed already quite a lot because of the Olympics. There are loads more climbing walls across the country, and also I think the style is changing so that even the easier boulders are a lot more fun and interesting and more like comp style, so people can really have a go at what they've seen at the Olympics at their local gym.
With the deep water solo season quickly approaching and crags being busier than usual, you may be searching for a different experience out on the rock. So for your safety, we've compiled this fun film providing some key points about how to deep water solo safely.
The best time to get out in the UK in deep water solo is in August, September. This is when the water's the warmest.
Remember to check the tide times carefully before climbing. Remember that a neap spring tide is not actually that high, so check which routes need high tides.
Never go deep water sailing on your own in case you're getting difficulties in the water. Working out an escape plan is as important as working out the moves.
Before starting climbing, it's always useful to check the fall zones to see if there's any underwater hazards that could injure you. This is why it's so important to check the tide times and the water depth.
Climbing out of the water might not always be an option. Having a rope or a buoyancy aid potentially could save lives.
The Great British weather is known for its sporadic nature. One moment it could be glorious sunshine and the next it could be belting down with rain. This is why it's important to pay attention to sudden changes in weather, specifically wind speed, as it can cause dangerous waters. Just because it's the Great British summer doesn't necessarily mean the water is warm. In fact, it's still really cold and can put anyone at risk of cold water shock.
So what is cold water shock? It's an involuntary reaction your body makes when going into cold water. Your chest cavity constricts, making it really hard to breathe, sometimes resulting in hyperventilating and, in extreme cases, cardiac arrest.
Signs of cold water shock include gasping, panic, hyperventilation and restriction of blood flow. So what kind of gear should you take? Well, lots of spare clothes, shoes and chalk just in case you take a few dunks into the water, an ab rope so you can get out safely and a flotation device. Also a down jacket and beach towel wouldn't hurt in case it's cold when you get out of the water.
So now we move on to the slow motion part of the film, how to hit the water. You've got to remember to make as small a profile as possible, pointing your toes and having your arms down by your side. No one wants to slap the underside of their arms or belly flop from 20 feet.
Deep water soloing is a great way to have a fun day out with friends, but it isn't without risk, so remember to be safe and be smart. For more information, search BMC Deep Water Solo.
My name's Abby Robinson. I'm a GB paraclimber and 3-time world champion in the B2 women's category. So I joined the BMC because I'm a competition climber, so membership gives me access to all of the competitions, both able-bodied and paraclimbing competitions, as well as all of the inclusive paraclimbing events that they run. Being part of the paraclimbing team has made a massive difference to me as a person. It's really helped me cope with coming to terms with my disability. Meeting other people, I think when I first got diagnosed with my visual impairment and being referred to as disabled was something that really didn't sit well with me. I didn't feel disabled. I didn't feel like I was any less able or independent as any other person, but that word disabled kind of really hung over me. Being part of the paraclimbing team and meeting other people with disabilities that were just as independent and just as able, if not more able, than a lot of people without any kind of impairments was really comforting for me. And it really showed me that my visual impairment didn't have to be a barrier for me, and that I can be fit and healthy and strong and independent whilst also being visually impaired. The paraclimbing team in particular is really tight-knit, and it is a really, really lovely team to be a part of. You know, we're all so different in our abilities and disabilities, but also really similar in sort of the experiences we've all had, and I think that really brings us closer together. So being part of the paraclimbing team is it's a real privilege. Obviously, as paraclimbing grows as a sport, nationwide and worldwide, we're sort of creating lots of small paraclimbing communities across the country, and the BMC are supporting us in that, in putting on paraclimbing events and creating more paraclimbing competitions. So I've sort of continued my support for the BMC, and in return they're sort of helping paraclimbing grow as a sport, I guess.
Although it's warming up and not technically the season, that won't stop many of you from heading out into the Peak District to experience God's own rock, the Gritstone. We're here at the Roaches for the next feature in our Respect the Rock campaign to give you all the knowledge. So sit tight, here's the download. Firstly, it's worth saying that the Gritstone, or grit, is a truly unique rock type, unlike anything else in the world. It's a hard, coarse-grained rock, and this rough surface provides outstanding friction, allowing you to stand on or grip the very smallest of features. The best time for the grit is over the winter months, when cooler temperatures can maximise friction. It goes without saying, like with all rock types, avoid when wet. Wet grit is weak grit. Give it plenty of time to dry out to avoid causing damage. So let's get this over with. Please, please, please use the designated parking spaces. If they're busy, you've got to move on and try another crag. Parking is one of the biggest bugbears for landowners in the area. Please be respectful and do your bit to help protect the delicate access agreements. Bouldering is booming. This increased footfall is having an effect on the rock and surrounding area. Please ensure to use a bouldering pad to minimise ground erosion and protect your fall. Also, please ensure you stick to the footpaths and avoid going out into the open moorland. There is some really delicate wildlife that needs protecting. In advance of your trip, make sure there aren't any restrictions by checking Natural England's open access website or the BMC's regional access database. Dogs in particular are allowed in the spring and early summer, but they need to be on a lead to avoid disturbing nesting ground birds and lambing. Due to the high friction of the rock, you can use minimal chalk, and when it comes to brushing, please do it gently and with a soft brush. Please avoid using tick marks. Not only are they unsightly, but they can really ruin the experience for the next climber. Working on your route reading, memory and observational skills will also pay dividends in the long run. There are loads of ways to minimise risk and land safely. Before you set off, make sure you read the route and place your pads in the optimal location for where you think you might fall. When using multiple pads, again, think about the places you might fall and avoid placing the gaps directly under fall zones, as you may fall through. Finally, if you haven't been outside bouldering before, make sure you increase your height gradually and start on small boulders. You want complete peace of mind in your ability to land safely. We always recommend going out climbing with a partner, and having a spotter massively reduces your chances of injury. They can move pads into optimal locations, stack them for higher up, and ensure you land in the middle of the pad should you fall off. With all that adrenaline and nervous energy, you might feel the need for facilities to come on. If it does, make sure you use the designated toilets, but if an emergency strikes, be respectful, find a quiet place without disturbing anything, and take it home with you. Dog poo bags work a treat and take up no space in your bag. Chipping and the use of any kind of resin is strictly prohibited. It's never been a thing and is completely unacceptable anywhere you go. Barbecues, fires and stoves risk starting wildfires and are strictly prohibited. Please refrain from using any kind of open flame. Stick to the crag snacks and wait until you get home for that fresh cup of tea or 3-course meal. The BMC's been doing some great work through their Hills to Ocean campaign. When you're all packed up and ready to leave, make sure you take your rubbish with you and pick up anything else you see on the way out. So those are our key points for bouldering here in the Peak District. For any further information on how to access the crag itself, please head over to the BMC website or the Regional Access database, and thank you for watching.